south, Burst Waterway and Seaview Road near Lexington Road. Busy right now, South Road, Edwardstown, slow, Main North Road at Enfield with the camera Stanley Street at Leabrook. Winter our way with a last-minute getaway. Romance the cold with the hottest deals on accommodation and experiences. Visit southaustralia.com/holiday-deals. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Sunny this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow, 17. Thursday, mostly sunny, 18. Friday, a shower or two, 17. Right now, it's 16 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Tom Wren. Tonight, the goosebump moment, rivals, training partners and friends go 1-2 in the 200-metre freestyle. Plus, our own Brenton Raglas ringside consoling a heartbroken Harry Garside as his Olympic dream shattered. The latest on the troubles for Rex Airlines, and we go one-on-one with Darcy Fogarty on the Hawthorn disaster. 9 News, your news.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show.
Get around the little fuck!
Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
Pick the beauty!
6 minutes after 4 on this beautiful sunny winter's Tuesday. Hopefully you're enjoying the day. More gold for Australia overnight in Paris, and there could be some more around the corner. As I welcome Rowey and Timmy G.
Oh, thank you, Sammy. Yeah, cracking day. Glorious in actual fact. And day 4 of the Paris Olympics, where legends are made, like our little Molly O'Callaghan beating stablemate and legend Ariane Titmus in the 200-metre freestyle. It was just amazing. There had to be a winner, and it was Molly. Timmy G, welcome.
Hello, Stephen. Yes.
What a race.
Yeah, and look, I suppose deep down I was sort of hoping for the younger men.
The draw? Oh, were you?
Yeah. I think sometimes you want to see the next gen coming.
Yep.
And this lady is an exceptional swimmer, so I think she'll be, well, our future as far as the next Olympics go anyway.
I loved Ariane got interviewed poolside, and she had tears. They asked her basically, why are you crying? She said, because I know how Molly feels.
That's right.
To be an Olympic champion.
How good's that?
How... Oh, Timmy, get your phone out of there. Get on the Foodland live stream. Timmy's moved his elbow with excitement and he's tipped over his lemon tea and it's gone all over your phone. Get the water off of it.
Don't worry about it. Get on with it.
Oh, sorry.
It's distracting from it.
He's peed off. He's tipped his drink over on his phone.
It's okay, tech department. Nothing.
But how
nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. How Australian's that?
I thought it was excellent.
Love
like
that,
I said,
Ariane.
that is, I think there's a real team orientation.
They're friends.
Attitude inside that whole team, and everybody's the same. And it was interesting hearing Cole Chalmers interviewed about, why is it that you perform in relays? And it's the team mentality.
He loves it.
It's the whole team mentality. Look, he'll be in the pool tonight. So
look what he's from. We'll get to that. Here's Molly.
I'm always striving for more and I always put a lot of pressure on myself. My expectations are very high. Like, that was an amazing race, but I'm always wanting that little bit more.
Well, it's our first swimmers to go gold, silver in an Olympic event since Ian Thorpe and Grant Hackett in the 200 20 years ago, which is great. Molly had to beat the Olympic record held by Ariane to win. It was amazing.
Yeah. Which you would absolutely have to do to beat her. She's still a champion. Don't worry about that.
Now, one of our most successful teams, and ones we love at the Olympics, is our mighty Opals. They've qualified and won medals at 5 consecutive Olympic Games, 3 silver, 2 bronze. They've been so close to gold, but they got absolutely wiped. The floor wiped. Is that the term in basketball? Got the floor wiped by Nigeria, 75-62. They were never in it. Here's our 5-time Olympic champion. She is the GOAT, Lauren Jackson.
It was a disaster out there, and for us, we need to actually pick up, regroup, I guess have a good deep look inside and go, right, how are we going to win this thing? We've got to get back on track, otherwise could be over in a flash.
A long way back from here, they got Canada Thursday, full of WNBA stars, France the same. They need to win both. Otherwise, they're flying back on a Rex Airline prop plane.
Oh, no.
Not a jet.
Well, I've got to say...
They'll be in a twin-turbo prop.
It was certainly a shock.
Oh,
and
God.
You heard Lauren Jackson say about how bad it was, but the recovery from here is going to have to be sensational. And
they can do it.
It was sort of reminding me of the Matildas where they had a shocker against Zambia,
Yes.
but they got out of jail.
They did.
They got out of jail 6-5, so they still won the game.
Yep.
This one they just didn't
They'll
recover.
fight. Oh, God, they were awful. Anyway, let's hope they do well. We're going to speak to Andrew Gaze live in Paris about that. Love
He'll
Gazy.
be very good.
We love Gazy. Cole Chalmers, our man, the big tuna. He broke the 100-metre freestyle world record at the Paris Olympics in the 4x100 relay. He swam a 46.59 world record. Not recognised because it's in a relay.
Yeah,
because of
correct.
all the chop and all that sort of stuff. They can't.
Yeah.
But that's a mighty swim.
It's an incredible swim. It really is quite amazing. So what it does, I think it just gives him confidence too about being able to go into that final, knowing that they're looking at him, going, "What's he gonna do?"
Yeah,
and he loves coming back. He loves
it.
coming back from behind.
He
so it's
does.
excellent.
Here's his dad. His nickname was Smiley, teammate of both of ours, Brett on 5AA Brekkie.
You know, this is Cole's third Olympics, and the pressure that's probably on the others, I reckon. You know, they're younger. You know, a couple of them have, probably haven't been to Olympics. If they have, this is their second one. They haven't been in front of a big crowd. The last Olympics obviously was in Tokyo. That's where the pressure comes from. You know, it's good for him to be the underdog, and I guess the pressure's probably more on the younger guys to stand up and perform in the biggest stage of their career.
Now, that's the first time I've heard that. I heard he was on Brekkie, but I couldn't quite get there. He's channeling Jack. How? That is what Jack would say. Oh, the pressure's on them.
Yeah.
He's got score on the board. My boy's won gold, won silver. It's his third Olympics. I know what I'm going to get from Brett. I don't know what I'm going to get. He was channeling Jack. Yeah. Loved it.
You sort of put that thought inside their brain and inside their head. And I think, again, there's a lot of truth in what Brett's saying. I mean,
my word, there is.
You hear me say all the time, you can't buy experience.
No.
He's now third time.
No.
And with that experience, the last Olympics.
And no outdoor either.
He had a really bad...
virus.
Well, no, he had a shoulder done.
He did
had
too.
a whole shoulder done. He came back really late. He just got in. He lost by, the smallest of margins in the 100 freestyle. I reckon this time he's feeling strong in mind and body.
Now, everybody, do this. The 100-metre men's freestyle final is down for 5:52 a.m. Thursday morning, live on 9. It'd be un-Australian, un-South Australian, not to set your alarm and tune in on 9 and watch that.
Yeah, well, I reckon the heat's
the big
tonight at
tuner up.
6:45 p.m.
Actually,
on 9,
run down
of
the
course.
rundown, please, Timmy.
I will do that.
Please.
You've just hit me right between the eyes.
Well, we did rehearse that. You
we
dropped
did.
your tea over everything.
No, this is as plain as it gets. Rowing tonight, we've got the women's singles, double sculls, women's fours. Then the swimming, we mentioned Cole's heat happening. The women's 100-metre freestyle heat with Molly O'Callaghan and Shana Jack on tonight. Men's 200-metre freestyle, women's 100-metre backstroke, men's 800-metre freestyle final. So Elijah Winnington in that.
Good.
And the women's 100-metre backstroke, we've got Kaylee McEwen in that as well.
Yes.
So there'll be medals hopefully on for display with a bit of luck. So a bit of basketball, of course. We've got Gazy coming on about that. The canoe Salem. So this is Jess Fox in her first heat of the C1s.
Speaking of her dad.
Rugby sevens. The women, of course, are going into the semis against Canada. And the hockey, the men's pool phase, we play Belgium. We've won our first two, so this could be 3 in a row.
Live and free on Channel 9, 9 Gem and 9 Now. Do not miss it tonight. Port Ave Sydney at home. And that's all they care about. I've loved their mantra just recently. We've just got to beat Sydney. We just got to be single-minded. We know where the improvement needs to come by. We know where we got to get better. Let's just knuckle down and concentrate on Sydney. I love it, Timmy. It's been a theme the last probably month. Here's Ken.
We want to be a good team. We want to be one of the best teams in the comp. You've got to do that. You're going to have to beat them. And, a lot of people have said we've probably got perfect preparation to go through the back half of the back 5 games of the year where we're going to find out whether we're worthy. And that will be really nice once we get that answer.
I think most of the games in order. So is it 2 tall backs or 3? Can Bergman be the third? Where's Burton at? Radaglia forward or back? Is Dixon in or out? Is Marshall in or out? Selection for me is the only headache. So I want to ask you this. What's Port's best front 6, Timmy?
Yeah, and I think that's a question I want to put out there. 8-2-2-3-00-00. Give us a bit of a hand. Because you know what I like? I like starting Horn Francis forward.
Oh, I do. Where's my
have you got one as well? But I like
funny
starting
how great minds think alike. Where's JHF?
Yeah, he's
right
in the forward
next to
line.
Rioli.
So I reckon that those two are definitely in that mix there. The other thing about it is I'm going to be like Ken and the team. I'm going to stay in the moment. We've got to beat Sydney. So I'm thinking about probably only sort of 2 talls, even though Georgiades
So horses for courses.
can come up the ground
Yep,
and the like. We know that, but I reckon George has been the best lead up inside 50, and they love hitting him up. So for mine, it would be, I think JHF and Rowey in there. It's a matter of whether you use Radigalia there. Sydney aren't tall.
No.
At forward. They got 195s, 2 of them. But I reckon I don't reckon we need him back there. So I'd be using him as they did last week, and with Georgiades and have and probably Dixon remains up there.
Okay, DBJ's there. You don't have SPP. I like
Yes.
Fraser Evans in there.
Yeah, I do
All
too.
things being equal, fit come finals. Marshall's in that team.
He
But
has
you've
to
got a
perform.
month. That's exactly right. You've got a
He's
month.
got a month to
get him on the red
put
line.
his name on the because
Because he ain't in my team yet, but he will be.
because you rotate 7 at least
You do.
through your forward
Nah,
line.
like it.
So you got those names, but you know what? That's what I'm doing for this week.
Okay, $100 pizza pan voucher.
Yeah.
$100.
Yum.
It's Pizza Tuesday.
It is.
I shouldn't say it like that. It's very American. Pizza Tuesday. Rowey.
Well done.
$100 voucher. Best call, 8223 0000. Give me your forward line for the last 4 games. Yesterday, we couldn't get through all the texts and phone calls on the Crows' loss. I reckon disappointment was probably the most overwhelming emotion. You know, there was anger, there was a few other things, but I think disappointment. And I think they're disappointed. This is them, the fans, the 42,000 that rocked up, supporters, that Hawthorn had gone past them in the rebuild. Because that's my first. Well, hang on, are they that good? Well, where they are. Now, here's Taylor Walker. He was on Triple M Brekkie this morning. Have a listen.
They're in outstanding form. I think they're the most informed team in the competition. Like, I look at it and I go, the last team that I played against that were that good and that, you know, were pressured the opposition into mistakes and just absolutely punished you the other way. I feel like it was back in 2017 when Richmond won the flag.
You recruit, draft, develop, train and coach that. That's the key. And that's clearly what Sam Mitchell's doing. Sam Mitchell's been there 3 years. We've had Nixie there for 5 years. We should be in front of them, Tex. Surely you have a bit of envy listening to that and hearing that. Surely there's a bit of jealousy or anger. In the last 5 years, and I've put Hawthorn's picks against the Crows' picks, they're nearly identical as far as where they've landed. They've had exactly the same opportunity in the last 5 years to build. So why are Hawthorn above us?
And it's a good question because
I'll tell you why.
Those last 3 years, they stripped right back. They stripped right back. We know what they did.
And 16th on the ladder.
And they emptied out.
They did.
But what we discovered when we quickly went through their best players on the weekend, he's already played 60 games. He's already played 70. He's played
put
50.
games into him.
He's done it very quickly. 13th
and 16th before this year, and they sit 9th in the form team of the comp. Here's VB, Nathan Van Berlo on, chasing high-end talent.
I think we're always looking for high-end talent, whether that be around the footy, ahead of the ball behind. Like, we're always going to look to upgrade our list where we can, but yeah, at the moment, we have enough talent around the footy and in our team that we need to be better than what we were last night.
Yeah, that's true. Chasing high-end talent is at the draft and at the trade table, and probably hasn't been the Crows one would. I know you can say they've got Dawson Rankin, outstanding gets, magnificent. Last year they got Burgess. You've got to do it week in, week out. It's not their one wood. I tell you what their one wood is, losing high-end talent.
Okay.
Now you can look at me like that and go, that's their one wood. At retention is growth. Any business you have, if you retain your key staff, you'll have a growth year. If you do nothing else. And that's one of the big things.
I did hear you say, you were mentioning about a drop-off intercept marker in the defensive area, and there was a few names there that aren't there now.
Well, from 2014 to 2016, you got Duday, gone. McGovern, gone. Lever, gone. Mackesy, well, he's probably more, he's more Reiki on the beach at Torquay type of player. But
they were the players.
They were the players. They've all gone. Cordsey spoke about that. I said, well, Cordsey, go and have a look who you had. You don't have them now. Anyway, it wasn't a surprise. I'm not angry. I'm just a bit disappointed. I'm not surprised because you could see this coming. And I've been saying that, Timmy, for years. I said before the game, Hawks will win by 10. So I'm not sitting there like we'll go, oh, no, what happened? Hey, no Dawson, no Rankin, no Murray, no Butts, no Crouch, no Millero. That is high-end talent. It wasn't out there, and they got a 10-goal you-know-what. So, Crows fans, we have a $100 pizza pan voucher.
Yum.
4 games left. What's the one thing you want to see? There's 4 games left.
Finish this sentence.
Finish this sentence. What do you want to see? 8223 is the sport line number, and there's a couple of texts that come straight through, and they've put words in my mouth. A broom. $100.
Well,
no, that was bad call, Rowey. Bad call.
A couple of good rumours about players coming on the unique
What do you want to
home-style
see?
food text too. So there was one saying that heard an interview that sounds like Miles Bergman might not be staying after his contract ends at the end of next year, and then there was one about Sam Berry saying he too might not stay at the end of this year.
I'm worried about Sam.
So there's 2.
I'm worried about Sam Berry. Very worried.
Give us a call.
We will take your calls very shortly for that $100 pizza pan voucher, 8223 0000. Coach's Corner with Campo at 5. Andrew Gaze shortly at 4:30 to talk all things Boomers tonight and the Opals' disastrous loss last night. Jess Fox's old man, Richard, will join us live in Paris. How exciting for Jess. She's got another opportunity for a medal tonight. And Ned McHenry will join us in studio as well. Take your call shortly. It's 20 after 4.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
David and Will invite you into the studio every morning with 5AA's live video stream of The Breakfast Show. Thanks to Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Harris Scarf clearance sale is on now. That's right, massive clearance sale on now. Save big on bedding, kitchen, electrical and women and men's clothing. Deals won't last, so hurry before it's gone. Exclusions apply. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices.
Now let's see what's in the swear jar at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens.
Boy, that's a cookie jar.
Oh, busted. My mistake. Let's see. Here it is. Here's one from Renette, an interior designer at Buy Urban for over 20 years. Renette swears to ensure your dream bathroom becomes a wonderful reality. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts. Wouldn't mind a cookie.
Okie dokie, looking to book a winter break without breaking the bank? Swap the sofa for a city stay, a starry night sky, a steamy spa, or an outback bar? I'm in!
That sounds good. Reignite your sense of adventure by exploring South Australia as it comes alive in winter with fiery events, long lunches, that sounds good, world-class wine, and awe-inspiring natural experience. Well, it's time to winter our way into SA with Last Minute Getaway.
Do you know what? It's some of the best time to get away in the winter.
I love it in the winter.
It's a little bit cheaper because it's not prime time.
Not prime time, yeah.
And there's that much to do in this state.
But it is for red wine country.
Oh, God. Imagine escaping to a cabin in the forest, cuddling up around a campfire, swimming with the cuttlefish right up the north of the state, or treating yourself to a city hotel stay. Leave the winter blues behind with the hottest deals on accommodation and experience. And my word, they are hot.
Well, how do you do it? You visit southaustralia.com/holiday-deals. SA. This is going to be brilliant. Get on there. I'll say that again. southaustralia.com/holiday-deals SA. Winter our way.
Hi, Brady Bitt here from Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda. I like that they're giving away 12 months of rego and stamp duty on all new cars. Not some, not just the red ones, all new Mazdas. With an offer like free rego and stamp duty, Mawson Lakes Mazda can't do it for long. It's got to end July 31st. Mawson Lakes Mazda. Free rego and stamp duty on all new Mazdas. Mawson Lakes Mazda. Just a short drive from the city.
Stay warm this winter with Mac Trade Services. Take advantage of huge SA government rebates on reverse cycle air conditioners. If you are a concession card holder, you can get a reverse cycle Actron air conditioner from only $599, supplied and installed. That's nearly a 70% discount off the normal price. Get in quick while stocks last. Visit the Mac Trade Services office in Rose Park or call 1300 430 917.
All over Australia, homeowners are saving money with a free Bendigo Bank home loan health check. Whether it's refinancing, investing in new property, or lowering your loan repayments. Let Bendigo Bank give your home loan a full check-up to make sure it's still right for you and your needs. New or existing customers, find your better home loan at Bendigo Bank. The better big bank. Lending criteria, terms, conditions, fees and charges apply.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes after 4, Andrew Gaze to join us shortly. We're taking your calls, 8223 0000 for a $100 pizza pan voucher. Port fans, who's in your best forward line? Lots of conjecture around that. And Crows fans, with 4 games to go, what do you want to see? Let us know. We'll get your calls on the air after we check your traffic for Rossdale Homes, the custom home, 2-story and split-level specialists.
Afternoon at St Mary's, a crash South Road near Tonsley Boulevard. Henley Beach South, Burst Watermain, Seaview Road near Lexington Road. Busy at the moment at Camden Park, Anzac Home in Morphett Road for works, and slow going South Road at Phoebus in both directions. Cameras today, Stanley Street, Leabrook and Hallett Road at Stonyfell. More comfy crawlers for less at Big W. Get ready for speedy changes with Dimples coveralls, only $5. That's more for less at Big W. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Okay, so who's in Port's best front six? That's one. And the other one, finish this sentence, Crows fans. I want to see ... We've got that $100 pizza pan voucher.
Beautiful. Let's go to Brighton. G'day, Darren.
Yeah, g'day, guys. So my key thing is I want to see accountability. So it seems to me that with the Crows at the moment, everyone's getting blamed, whether it's the chairman, the board, the football director, the fitness coach, the list management, whoever. No one seems to be accepting responsibility for what's happening. And I think unless people are held accountable for their role, you're just going to create a culture that becomes toxic and everyone's blaming everyone else. And that generates, poor performance. I mean, if the Adelaide Crows was a listed company, the share price would have gone from $10 to 10 cents in the last 12 months. The CEO would have been sacked. Chairman would have issued a grovelling apology. But it seems that the Crows, no one's accountable. And I think accountability, that's crucial to turn this culture around and rebuild the football club to where they should be.
Great call, Darren. It is a business, so run it like one. I agree. Some of the stuff they've walked past over the years, for a lot of years in certain areas, has been appalling.
Pizza pan, $100 voucher there, Darren. You're in the running.
Hello, Dion.
G'day. What I want to see is a bit more of that run and dash and carry that we saw against Essendon. These young guys came in and I've been a bit apprehensive about whether we had the list or not, but I feel like we have seen a little bit of it, and if they just take that game on a little bit more and, get that run off the half back, I reckon, we can be an exciting team.
Yeah, I like it, Dion. Fantastic. Finish this sentence, Crows fans. I want to see, a lot of them say, win a showdown. That's one of mine. Mm-hmm. Play curtain. That's another one of mine. Get balmy. That's another one of mine. There's a lot of brooms, but, you can't just put a broom through everything. Let's be realistic.
This is interesting. Casey says, I want to see the Crows go to the bottom to get the best draft picks. They won't get much lower than they are right now because I think they're about 3 games in front of the next team.
Well, how's Phil from Henley? I've heard that the Adelaide Crows are releasing a 500-piece jigsaw puzzle just in time for Christmas. Mate, Phil, if you're a Port man, Port of the jigsaw puzzles. They're the ones building the puzzle.
28 minutes after 4.
They've been building that puzzle for 12 years.
Your calls after the 4:30 headlines. And Andrew Gaze to join us too.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. David Penberthy and Will Goodies. 5AA Breakfast.
Tyson Stengel, the Geelong star, according to reports in Victoria, was treated by paramedics and rushed to hospital in an ambulance after being found unresponsive in the Geelong's Bloom nightclub on Sunday morning. Spent 3 hours in hospital before he was picked up and driven home. He trained on Monday. Okay, so... Play up, turn up. Play up, turn up.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Clearly, the bloke's got some issues he needs to straighten out.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
NRG Solar knows that solar isn't just about panels. It's about future-proofing. Start your journey to self-sufficiency today. Be the visionary. Take charge. NRG Solar's new warehouse is fully stocked with a stunning range of wholesale solar and battery equipment. See it for yourself. Discover the power of solar at NRG Solar. Call 1300 858 160 or visit nrgsolar.com.au and make tomorrow brighter. That's nrgsolar.com.au.
Every South Australian deserves a place to call home. That's why the state government has developed the Housing Roadmap, providing more rights for renters, helping more first home buyers by abolishing stamp duty on new homes and building more public and affordable houses. We're making big moves now to open more doors for this generation and the next. To learn more, visit housingroadmap.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
Drums, please. Unprecedented, unparalleled, unrivaled. For the very first time, Edwardstown Mazda is offering discounts greater than 10% on all Mazda demonstrator models. Every demo, every model with a minimum discount of 10%. Plus a minimum trade-in of $2,000 on your old vehicle. This offer is exclusive to Edwardstown Mazda.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA.
Starring Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire, The Gay Divorcee was nominated for Best Picture at the 1934 Academy Awards. See it at the Capri Theatre August 4, screening at 3 p.m. Plus, live on stage prior to the movie, Michael Griffiths plays Cole Porter from 2 p.m. with the bar open from 1. Book your tickets now for this iconic comedy romance. The Gay Divorcee, plus Michael Griffiths plays Cole Porter. August 4 at the Capri Theatre. Tickets from $15 at capri.org.au.
The business sector has had incredible advances in AI. One Solution can show you how AI can streamline your business, introducing efficiencies you never thought possible. You'll save money and time, unlock new growth avenues, and you'll be keeping up with the rest of the business community. With AI and One Solution, you can innovate, optimize, and excel across every facet of your business. One Solution will show you how. onesolution.net.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. An inquest has heard the driver who killed a mother and police officer at Urbray 4 years ago was reported by multiple witnesses for dangerous driving before the deadly smash. The future of Rex hangs in the balance. The regional airline has suspended bookings on its 737 services. Australians in Lebanon are being warned to leave immediately after a rocket strike on Israel prompted airlines to ground flights. And in sport, Todd Marshall could be back for Port this weekend following a hip injury. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Unleash the night at the Crazy Horse Review, where every show is unforgettable. Hindley Street.
G'day there, it's St Mary's. A crash to look out for South Road near Tonsley Boulevard, Henley Beach South, Burst Watermain, Seaview Road near Lexington Road. Busy at the moment at Brighton for works, Brighton Road near Gregory Street, just near the Foodland there, and sluggish at Angle Park, South Road near Grand Junction Road. Cameras at Savo, Bevington Road, Glenunga, and Bundy's Road at North Adelaide. When the lucky country isn't so lucky, you're with Amy. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TND at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly clear tonight, down to 7, partly cloudy tomorrow, 18. Right now, it's 15. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, look, they're one of the best teams in the world. 1 through 12 is very elite. They play with a whole lot of athleticism, long, a lot of confidence. They had a great World Cup last year. We're going to need to be at our best to be able to beat them.
At 27 minutes to 5, that's Paddy Mills ahead of tonight's group game against Canada for the Boomers. $100 Pizza Pan voucher still to give away as well for your calls. 8223 0000. Campo will join us shortly in Coach's Corner.
Absolutely, and we've got Channel 9's Boomers expert commentator, but I would say probably the all-time favourite Boomer ever.
He's
Andrew Gay's on the line. He is the GOAT. G'day, Gazy. Thanks for your time, mate. Really appreciate it.
With an introduction like that, happy to jump on whenever you like. It's a pleasure to be with you guys, and looking forward to the big game. Just hearing Paddy on the preview there, it's going to be exciting up against a cracking team from Canada. So looking forward to it, and looking forward to calling all the action with the legend Brenton Speed on Channel 9.
Well, before we get on to that game, the Spain game, I was absolutely wrapped in. It was just from the beginning, they took a commanding view of it and said, no, we're dictating what's going to happen here. I love that attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a team that's tormented us over the last decade, really. Every time we've played them, it's been the scene of some incredible heartbreak, a couple of dubious decisions. They robbed us of 2 medals at one of the Olympic Games in 2016 and then in 2019 at the World Cup in a double overtime thriller. So there was a lot of mental hurdles that the boys had to overcome, but they did it well. They played great defence. When they got their guys humming on the offensive end, I love the ball movement. I love the way that everyone was getting involved, and Josh Giddey was the catalyst to a lot of that, the way in which he distributes the ball, and Paddy knocking down the 3 ball. So it was a huge result for us, and some of the guys that, they're superstars, but we weren't sure what type of role they'd play, like Jack McVeigh with his 13 points and a huge 3 in that last quarter, and Will Magnay with a massive block that he had. So, and the news, fellas, only gets better because we're told that Dante Exum may come back into the lineup after that finger issue that he had. So that's some good news for the Boomers.
Absolutely. You mentioned McVeigh. I just think that was a classic selection on form.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes
100%.
you got to be careful selecting on name sometimes and ignore somebody who just keeps beating the door down like he did.
Yeah, I mean, Brian Goorjian had one of the toughest jobs you'd ever want to have in his selection because there were so many guys that if they had made it, led by, of course, Matisse Thybulle, that was probably the biggest shock. But when you think of Jack and what he's been able to do and where he's come, in particular the last 3 years, when he's a bits and pieces player there for Adelaide for a while, and he gets in a program like the Jack Jumpers where his skill sets really shine. And he's so versatile. And the thing I love about the most, not that just that he can knock down the 3 ball and the defensive hustle, it's just that he does it with a smile on his face. He brings a real positive attitude to the team, and that type of stuff's infectious, particularly in a tournament type atmosphere where you're living in each other's pocket for a couple of weeks. To have such a positive guy around the group, that's also part of the reason why Brian Goorjian selected him.
And he might be proven correct. I like Dyson Daniels. I mean, that was one of those decisions that they made over Matthias. But in the end, you don't have... Go, Gazy.
You don't just like him, you love him.
Yeah.
You must love him. You got to go ahead of like because he's a superstar in the making.
Yeah.
Young, but where he's really improved, he's shot. His shooting technique, you can tell he's done a lot of work on it, so he is going to be a huge asset to it. And I think today he's going to have the job, maybe not the entire game, but he's going to do the bulk of the heavy lifting guarding Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who was the NBA runner-up in the MVP. He is a bona fide star, and I think Dyson's going to play a big role in trying to nullify him.
Well, we don't have the high-end talent of the US or even Canada, for that matter, even Greece, because they've got the Greek freak. But we rely on our roster. We rely on everything, don't we? The sum of all the parts. And Gorge, will he change the rotation or the mix, do you think, this tonight?
Well, with Dante coming back in, I think that that may eat into some of the minutes that Matthew Dellavedova. There was a lot of talk about why Duop Reith didn't play. Duop is a big guy. He was playing with the Portland Trailblazers. He's a knockdown a guy that can stretch the floor because he's a knockdown 3-ball shooter. So, and he didn't see 1 second of time. It's very difficult in a 40-minute game to play 12 guys. Each and every one of them have their skill sets, but Brian has to make some tough decisions. Just like, I don't know if you saw the American game, Steve Kerr, Jason Tatum did not play a second in their win over Serbia. Wow. So it's one of those things. You've got to make some tough decisions when there's only a 40-minute game and you're trying to find that continuity. I don't think we're going to see radical changes, but Dante coming back in may force some minor changes. And whether Duop, with his ability to stretch the floor, comes in and plays a little more, that remains to be seen.
Canada tonight, they're ranked 7th. They've got 11 players with NBA experience. Names like Barrett, Brooks, Alexander, Murray, Dort, and the like. But will Australia go out with a very similar attitude to what they did to Spain, and because they just said, "Well, hang on, we're the bronze medalists, reigning.
Yeah.
You're not." And I couldn't believe this stat. I didn't know that Canada have only won the one medal, and it was a silver in 1936.
Wow.
That's right.
Buckle wheels.
Well, you've dug deep into the archives because if you want to go that deep as well, in an Olympic basketball competition, Australia's biggest loss ever came at the hands of Canada back in 1956 when the score was in the 80s to the 30s or something.
Wow.
So,
And you were starting back then, Gazy. Oh, sorry.
That's it. I was just a young pup, just trying to, knock down a few three balls. Well, actually, they didn't even have the three ball back then. But back then, they still had laces in the ball.
Yeah,
so I think that they'll have a similar attitude. I think that you can tell by the way they've played the pre-Olympic games and the way they've played in the games. The basis of everything they do is on the defensive end. They're super aggressive on the on-ball screens. They're being very physical, and it's actually worked in our favour because the way the games are being officiated is they are letting them play. It is very, very physical out there, way more physical than you would see in an NBL game, particularly off the ball. And that makes life pretty difficult for someone like Paddy, who does a lot of his work off the ball. He's got to tow someone around the whole game. So, but no, I don't think that we'll see too many changes. And why would you? The formula looks pretty good.
Spot on, mate. I reckon we'll have another cracking game. Really appreciate your time, mate, and keep up the good work. We love it.
Anytime.
Absolutely love it.
Good on you, fellas. And let's not forget, get around our locals as well. They copped a bit of a touch-up yesterday. They need a bit of love from us. They got to feel the good juju coming from Australia. So make sure you get behind them.
They'll bounce back.
Well said. They will.
Good stuff there.
Yeah.
Andrew Gaze, Channel 9 Boomers expert commentator. But like I said, I reckon probably the all-time favourite Aussie Boomer.
Yeah, live and free on Channel 9, 9Gem 9 now. Every Olympic event streamed live and free. Their commentators are just elite, and that's one of them, Andrew Gaze. Hello, Jack.
How good is Gazy? And have you seen Mark Taylor doing the diving as well?
Yes,
on
I have, actually. And I started to giggle at the table when I heard that. Loved it.
The diving aficionado. Look, I'm calling about the Crows. I called after the game and I mentioned the rebuild word. And I don't think we need another rebuild, don't get me wrong. But I just want to have a look at that list profile in terms of game numbers. And on the weekend, this is off I found here. So we had 17 guys who have played under 50 games. Under 60 games. Whereas the Hawks have got a great patch of guys who have played between 30 and 60. And I think the difference there is when you're in a rebuild, you draft guys, you just play them. So Zach Taylor, Billy Dowling, Ball Ace was a rookie, yes. Nankervis and Bond, they're all under 15 games, but they were drafted when we were in the middle of the rebuild. Why is it taking so long for them to get a game now? And it just shows that you can rebuild, you can draft, but unless you play the players you pick in the rebuild, you're just going nowhere for a couple of years, just coasting along, and that's where we find ourselves now.
You got to get games into the right players, and you got to play those players in their correct positions that they've been developed in to play. And I think that's probably two boxes they can't tick, Jack. So good call. You're in the running for that $100 pizza pan voucher. Let's go to Hackham. Ian?
Hey, guys, how you going?
Excellent.
I'm bringing up with the same thought. Like, why the hell do you get a pick 8 and don't play him? Like, Riley Bilthorpe's been in the system for 4 years and barely played 10 games. Like, these kids go into the draft and they're high pick and they don't play. Like, then they walk away despondent. Who's that big lad that he threw the toys out the cot and went home? Like, they go to the draft to play the big games. If you get a good sentiment, you put him against Petrarca so he can learn the game. Sure, he's going to get pants, but he will bloody learn. He's not learning playing against B graders in the SANFL. Like, crikey, you don't have to be a bloody top coach to work that.
Yeah, I think where Nixie's that bloody competitive about winning every game. He, even last week, said, we can still make the finals. I love that. You want that from your coach. But it can't be blind faith. And you've got to have an eye on the future, an eye on development, an eye on this and an eye on that. It can't just be about winning week in, week out. And sadly, they've had the winning goggles on, and it's hurt development. It has 100% stifled development.
I think where a couple of callers in Unique Homestyle Food Text, there was sort of 8 first-grade players out of the lineup, probably just exposed what
That's
you're
exactly
just talking
right.
about.
Exactly right.
The fact that they are all under 15 games and they are untried and inexperienced, and all of that got exposed when you're probably your 8 best out.
And I've said it countless times, in the call, after the call, during the call, before the game, after the game, whatever. Their best 22 can get it done. But when you get into...
But as we know, nobody goes through a season like that, do they?
Yeah, that's right. And last year they were so lucky with injury and well managed, because Burjo's an absolute legend. Well managed, and they got through a great season. Now they've been exposed, and that list has been exposed.
I think Collingwood's a good example. They've had a season ravaged by injury. They held in there for a while, and eventually it's got them, hasn't it?
It has.
And you know, it's not over yet, but you'd say that their depth held on for a lot longer.
Yeah, you're right. Unique Homestyle Food texts about high-end talent, I think, for me. Hey, you guys, you haven't mentioned about Stengel. The question I have here is, if he collapsed at a nightclub, should he be out with concussion this weekend? Well, here's Patrick Dangerfield. Let's have a listen to him.
Treat our players like adults. They have every right to go out to enjoy themselves. Clearly with that, you've got to do it responsibly, and there's been a bit of an error in judgment around that. But we love Tice, and we will always support him.
Well, what is the error in judgment? Because there's that much speculation, rumour and innuendo, and I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
And you can put one and one together. But that is a really, really good text. He can't play this week, regardless, whether he trained again, and he did, and he's on the training track and he's recovered, because of the look of the game. If you want to truly talk about the look of the game, he cannot play this week.
That's a
Well, I don't reckon he can.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what they said the issue was.
Well. Again, let's be careful, because it's only speculation, but it's rife with what he did or didn't do. And I think, number one, the club or the AFL needs to come out and say exactly what he did ingest.
Well, if
was it too many shandies?
Or was it too many shandies? And if it's that, then they say, well, hey, mate, you got to, not have as many. But I don't know
that's
the club
right. So then he
policy or
can't
the
play this
AFL
week.
policies on that. If you've had a big Saturday night, is that is like on the booze? Is that a sanction?
Well, it depends whether
do you get suspended for a game.
Well,
for
hang
that?
on, but it depends whether the leadership group has said, look, there's no drinking after a certain time, or there's no this or
that
no
might
that.
be their own.
Some clubs might say
rules.
with the month of the finals, no drinking to the finals or after the finals.
Yep.
I don't know internally what the policy is. If it's alcohol, well, I mean, no. But if it's something else, he cannot play this week. Cannot play this week.
That's what needs to play out.
But I think the club needs to come out and say it.
So,
he's the skipper, Paddy Dangerfield.
Yep.
He said nothing without
basically nothing.
He
to
said
see
something
you.
without nothing. What did he say?
He said we treat our players like adults, and they're allowed to go out and enjoy
He's
themselves.
saying he's allowed to have a night out. So
if there's an error in judgment here, so the Geelong Footy Club have put out a statement. They've said the club acknowledges a health incident involving Tyson Stengel. Most importantly, Tyson is okay and attended the club Monday. The club's priority is Tyson's mental health and well-being. They left it at that.
Good.
The club will make their own judgments from here. You would have thought.
But again,
they'd
for
already
me,
doing that.
now I'm not casting aspersion, but as soon as you mention that word mental health, and we know got an illicit drug policy, and there's 1 strike, 2 strikes, 3 strike, health strikes, self-report, and all that, we are all immediately going, oh, he's taken X, aren't we? Clear it up.
But there needs to be clarification. At the end of the day, though, everything medical is kept confidential. So regardless, you won't hear that publicly.
And there's the loophole.
But even if it is alcohol, regardless of which way it has, we don't know what it is.
Was there a mention in the article about that potentially somebody said that his drink was spiked?
That was a suggestion. But again, it's all speculation.
It's just
so there is nothing clear about it. So
spike.
that is
Come out
where
and tell the
that
truth.
situation is at.
How
It's
about
12 minutes to 5. We're going to take a break and we'll check your traffic. More of your calls after the break for that $100 pizza pair voucher.
Afternoon at St Mary's, a crash South Road near Tonsley Boulevard. Henley Beach Southwest Watermain, Seaview Road near Lexington Road with detours in place. Bit sluggish at the moment for works. Hullock Cove, Lonsdale Road near Majors Road and busy. Tapley's Road at Glenelg North, just near Ransack Highway. Got a camera this 502 Fairfield Road at Elizabeth Grove. Kentucky Fried Chicken presents the new Original Crispy series. It's double breaded, it's extra crispy, and it's out now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Catch all the action from the Olympic Games in Paris as 5AA brings you Nine's coverage live each evening from 11:30. Don't miss a minute of the action as our Aussie stars set their sights on gold medal glory. Tune in tonight following Leith Forest as we cross to France for Nine's coverage. Paris 2024, live from 11:30 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
The Lordman and Pank sale is here. Enjoy 20% off a range of prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses and contact lenses today. Hurry, offer ends July 31. T's and C's apply. See website for details. Book an eye test today. Lordman and Pank. We care for eyes.
Paint Professionals turned the job around so quickly from the initial quotation straight through to completion.
Now is the perfect time to call Paint Professionals and receive a professional colour consultation valued at up to $250. Yours free if you decide to paint your entire house inside or out, getting ready for sale, or giving your home a new lease of life. Make it a great experience. Call Paint Professionals for this limited offer. T's and C's apply. paintprofessionals.com.au.
Scotty Campriali after 5 for Unique Home Style Food text. The text line's gone berserk, a lot of it on the Stengel side. And here's another one. Rowey, in that case, you'd have never played on Saturday. Mark, what do you mean?
I think it means you had probably a few beers every Saturday.
Well, yes, I did.
Well,
yes, I did, and so did you, Timmy.
I
used to
did.
see you
Absolutely,
out. We all had a problem.
And I don't think that your leadership group made a rule about...
No,
they
never.
didn't.
Because our captain was Gary McIntosh. I remember speaking to Dennis Lilly about the 70s and 80s, and he said, oh, look, we used to have fun, and then a game of cricket broke out. That was my football.
That was your theory?
One of the best ways to see our be hurtful. I'm just channeling KG. Love him. Happy 85th for Friday. What a good night. Is through the windscreen of your four-wheel drive. And if you want to do it, you've got to be TJM equipped.
Adelaide and team are absolutely brilliant. Now, if you've been waiting for the perfect moment to get your four-wheel drive and camping accessories, I've got some news for you. TJM Ranella are celebrating their grand opening with 20% off during the month of July. So you've got 2 days left.
That's right.
Today and tomorrow.
It starts with TJM Ranella. Open their doors on July 8. And it's an offer you'll just love it. There's ex-display bull bars, the canopies, winches, lights, loads more. Get in quick because stock won't last.
Visit TJM now at Ranella, 115 Sheriffs Road, Ranella. TJM, the major sponsor of tonight's fishing show, 6:30pm with Ned McHenry.
At CMAX Clinical Research, we're on a mission to revolutionise healthcare. By participating in a clinical trial, you can help pave the way for a potential treatment for primary biliary cholangitis. If you're aged 18 to 65 and generally healthy, you could be eligible for this CMAX study. Upon your successful participation, you'll be paid for your time and commitment to help advance medical research. See if you're eligible today. Log on to cmax.com.au and look for the PBC study to find out more.
Meet for a cuppa at Coffeelosophy. Move your body at Hatha Yoga. Invest your wellness at Devar House. Repair your leathers at Ideal Shoe Repairs. Print your family photos at Hutt Street Photos. Stop for an aperitif at Bar Torino. Order lunch at Chianti. Spice up your senses at Ragi's. Grab a classic pub meal at Arab Steed Hotel. Sip your favourite at Hutt Street Cellars. Whatever your reason, Hutt Street is worth the visit. After all, it's your corner of the city. The best corner of the city.
Have you seen the stunning new sign at NRG Solar's relocated office in St Mary's? It's not just a sign, it's a beacon of sustainability. As leaders in solar solutions, NRG Solar's commitment to innovation shines bright. Their new warehouse is fully stocked with a stunning range of wholesale solar and battery equipment. See it for yourself, 1275 South Road St Mary's, or visit nrgsolar.com.au for a sustainable future. That's nrgsolar.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes to 5. Campo in Coach's Corner coming up after 5 o'clock. Loving your calls for that $100 pizza pan voucher.
Love transparency. We're not getting it with Tyson Stengel, but I do like this Unique Home Style Food text. What's the chances Stengel's out with hamstring awareness?
Okay, let's get to Clapham. G'day, John. You got a thought on next year recruiting stuff?
G'day, guys. How are you?
Good, mate.
Good, Johnny.
Yeah. You wanted to know the best thing that can happen in the last 4 games?
Mm-hmm.
After the last game, Nixie cannot wait till the door shuts behind him as he leaves, and he can take the recruiting staff with him.
Ooh, John, harsh.
It might sound harsh, but they've been making excuses for years and years and years, and as someone that's followed him since day one, many people are getting absolutely jack of it.
Yeah.
They'll never do anything until they clean up the cancer that is permeating the off-field stuff. It's just they've just got to do it. Nixie might be a good bloke. He's not the coach to take him.
Strong words, Johnny. Strong words.
There you go. Let's head to Goodwood. Pete, are you on a similar path?
Sorry?
G'day, Peter. Yeah,
You're on, Pete.
You're on, buddy.
Hey, Pete, switch your ears on.
Thanks, buddy. Hey, look, I've been following them as well as my wife from the late 90s when they won those 2 grand finals.
Yep.
And what they captured there and how they took South Australian Crows fans along was like a deep-rooted football culture. That has been lost over the years.
It's been eroded.
Moved forward. Yeah. So it's been eroded, but it's a conditional upbringing. So after the 2000s and so forth, we had some ups and downs and so forth, but that grassroots, that culture has sort of turned in a way of, what can I say, more like they're untouchable. The Crows are untouchable. They've got to be accountable. So you compare the power supporters to Crows supporters. Now, the power supporters will give it at them. Will really stick to the players and the coaches and everyone, and they'll hear it. But when it's the Crows not doing well, they'll come up with these excuses. Oh, look, okay, they're rebuilding this and that. No, make every single one accountable. So if there's one thing I want to see in these next 4 games is to have heads roll. And I think it's a similar pattern which you hear from these.
Yeah, we do, Pete. It's overwhelming. I think the tough considerations for the decision makers, we know who they are, is in 2017 they played in the grand final. And I, for one, got swept up in it. I did the show with Biggs. We were playing Can You Feel It every week, the highest scoring team, and we had all these kids coming through, and then we thought, wow, we've got a dynasty. And I remember, if you roll 2 years forward, the late, great Phil Walsh said in 2017, this group will spike. And I anticipate on, having some long-term success, sustained success. That's what we're building. So if you think, yeah, I was on board, I got swept up in it, and Phil Walsh ended up being true to his word. Sadly, he didn't get to see it. And Campo, which we'll get on after the break with his staff, and Pikey, got us into a bloody grand final. As exciting football as I've seen for years.
Yeah, but not a good journey since.
No. So that's where if you're sitting back as the board, you go, wait, it was only 5 years ago in the grand final. What's happened? Can't be just a can.
7 years.
7 years now.
7.
Yeah, it's been some time. It is 3 minutes to 5.
Sorry.
Campo's going to join us after the 5 o'clock news.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Hi there, Stacey Lee here, and I'm here to tell you just how easy it is to use the 5AA Player app. I've got my mum and dad onto it already, so trust me, if they can use it, you can use it. All you need to do is find the app on your phone, just look for the brand new shiny 5AA logo. It'll open the app and there's a big button right in the middle, play button, you can't miss it. And there it is, listen to how clear that is. We can be in your pocket or in your ears, wherever you are.
The 5AA Player.
Every South Australian deserves a place to call home. That's why the state government has developed the Housing Roadmap, releasing land to build tens of thousands of homes and training the workers to build them, investing in the infrastructure we need and fast-tracking planning approvals. We're making big moves now to build more homes for this generation and the next. To learn more, visit housingroadmap.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
If working with NDIS plans is a source of confusion or frustration, there is an easy way forward. At Complete Care, you're given a client service manager. Think of them as a concierge, there to assist and recommend services as they're needed, from cleaning and home maintenance to social support and transportation.
They're essential to our clients and always available to their loved ones. It's just one of the things we do that sets us apart. Trust client service managers from Complete Care with a K.
Business owners like us don't have much time.
Lucy, why does ANZ use radio advertising to promote its easy online business loans?
Yeah, look, we're targeting multitasking business owners. Radio kind of travels with them.
Oh, I love that Andy guy who's in your radio and TV ads.
Oh, yeah, well, it's been great to build on that campaign character.
Andy's not real.
Would you like him to be real?
We'll talk later. Discover how investing just 11% of your campaign budget into radio can double its effectiveness. Search commercial radio.
Drums, please. Unprecedented, unparalleled, unrivaled. For the very first time, Edwardstown Mazda is offering discounts greater than 10% on all Mazda demonstrator models. Every demo, every model with a minimum discount of 10%. Plus a minimum trade-in of $2,000 on your old vehicle. This offer is exclusive to Edwardstown Mazda.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA.
Respiratory syncytial virus, known as RSV, is a contagious virus and the cause of respiratory disease among the elderly. Vaccines to fight the disease have been approved overseas, but Adelaide's Fusion Clinical Research is holding a trial to find a remedy for Australia. If you're over 60 and want to take part, contact Fusion on 7077 6996 or go to fusiontrials.com.au. You will be reimbursed for your time.
Now, let's see what's in the swear jar at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens. Oh, wrong swear jar. This is it. From Martin the Tiler, affectionately known as Millimetre Martin. He swears you'll love his millimetre-perfect craftsmanship. And here's one from Rick the Plumber. Rick swears to always clean up after himself, guaranteed. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Up-to-the-minute news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Mostly clear tonight, down to 7, partly cloudy tomorrow, 18. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. The coroner's inquest into the deaths of Detective Chief Superintendent Joanne Shanahan and Tanya McNeil commenced today. It heard the driver, Harrison Kitt, who killed the two women at Urbray in April 2020, was reported by multiple witnesses for dangerous driving before the deadly smash. He was clocked at 167 k's an hour and on the incorrect side of the road when he entered the Fullerton Crossroad intersection against a red traffic light. He was found not guilty of any criminal offending by reason of mental incompetence and placed on a 10-year supervision order. A driver's been reported over a fatal crash at Campbelltown yesterday. An 80-year-old grandfather was knocked down and killed on Clareville Road. The driver of the four-wheel drive, a 68-year-old man from Athelston, has been reported for causing death by careless driving. He's instantly lost his licence and will face court at a later date. 2,000 jobs may be at risk as the future of Rex hangs in the balance. The regional airline has suspended its shares and isn't taking bookings for its capital city services. It's understood the company is losing at least $1 million a week. Federal Transport Minister Catherine King says discussions with the airline are ongoing.
We've been in constant discussions with Rex during the course of the day. My department has been doing that and we'll wait for Rex to make an announcement about its future. But can I say very, very clearly, the government is in no doubt the importance of regional aviation and Rex to regional aviation.
The city is getting another 5-star hotel. The first sod was turned at the Halifax Street site today. Developer Chris Samaras says Crystalbrook Sam will be 13 stories high with over 200 rooms and suites.
Crystalbrook Sam is a 5-star luxury lifestyle hotel, the likes of which Adelaide and Australia hasn't seen before.
It's set to open in 2026. It's becoming harder for scammers to target the customers of one of the country's largest banks. Sophie Clark explains.
Westpac has been working on a safer way of reaching customers to help stamp out impersonation fraud. The bank is currently detecting 69% of all scam cases, but Head of Fraud Prevention Ben Young is hoping a new partnership with Optus will help improve that figure by connecting staff with Australians via the mobile phone app.
When we
call you, it comes through the app. We'll also show you not just that it's us, but the reason that we're calling.
Westpac Safe Call is expected to catch on. Business commentator Peter Switzer says other banks will likely look at adopting the world-first safety measure.
If one does it, they're all going to do it.
The federal opposition leader is in Israel to meet with senior members of government. Peter Dutton will be in the Middle East until Thursday, where he's linking up with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's team, as well as families and hostages affected by conflict with Hamas. He's hoping to strengthen Australia and Israel's deep and abiding relationship. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Meet Crows and Port AFL stars at Sportscard World's Trade Day this Sunday, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
It's day 4 of the Paris Olympics. Kaylee McEwen has qualified second fastest for the final of the women's 100-metre backstroke. It's the Boomers v Canada tonight. Basketball great and 9 commentator at the Olympics, Andrew Gaze, has told Rowey and Timmy G the stage is set for a thrilling contest.
It's going to be exciting up against a cracking team from Canada, so looking forward to it. I don't think that we'll see too many changes, and why would you? The formula looks pretty good.
The Olympic triathlon for men has been postponed due to the water quality in the River Seine after weekend rainfall. Tests show there is still too much pollution. The men's triathlon is now scheduled to be raced after the women tomorrow. To footy, and Todd Marshall could be back for Port this weekend. He suffered a hip strain during the Gold Coast clash, but has been back running over the past week and is expected to join full training tomorrow. And Adelaide's AFLW side has announced its new leadership. Sarah Allen and Ebony Marinoff will be co-captains, replacing Chelsea Randall, who stepped down at the end of last season. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Unleash the night at the Crazy Horse Review, where every show is unforgettable. Hindley Street.
Afternoon at St Mary's. Crash to look out for today. South Road near Tonsley Boulevard. Henley Beach Southburst Watermain there. Seaview Road near Lexington Road with detours in place. Busy at Hallett Cove. Lonsdale Road near Majors Road. And slow at Seacombe Gardens. Morford Road near Seacombe Road. Cameras this afternoon. Dutton Terrace, Medindi and Cross Road at Meadowbank. From school drop-off to the beach, everywhere is an adventure with a 7-seat Isuzu MUX. Visit your local Isuzu ute dealer today to discover the range. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Mostly clear tonight, down to 7. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 18. Thursday, sunny and 18. Friday, a shower or two, 17. Right now, it's 14. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Tom Wren. Tonight, the goosebump moment, rivals, training partners and friends go 1-2 in the 200-metre freestyle. Plus, our own Brenton Raglas ringside consoling a heartbroken Harry Garside as his Olympic dream shattered. The latest on the troubles for Rex Airlines, and we go one-on-one with Darcy Fogarty on the Hawthorn disaster. 9 News, your news.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 6 minutes after 5 on this lovely sunny Tuesday evening. Still to come, we have Jess Fox's dad, Richard Fox, live over in Paris. Great to catch up with him as she looks to medal again very soon. Ned McHenry's going to join us in studio, and we have Port Locker Room tickets still to give away to Saturday's game against the Swans. And your calls, of course, for that $100 Pizza Pan voucher, 8223 0000. And if you're watching on the Foodland live stream, you'll see we're ready to hop into Coach's Corner.
On the 5AA Sports Show, this is Coach's Corner with Scott Camporeale. Thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking for hundreds of South Australian businesses for 35 years. Greatness in the making.
Yeah, it is, Mr. B, special man. Have you got Olympic goggles like the rest of us?
I do enjoy it, yeah.
I love it.
I'm not one that's going to stay up at 3 o'clock in the morning,
No.
but I love the fact that 9 now you can get on, jump on there, and you can itemise and jump. We did it Sunday morning, my wife and I, because I quite like the swimming. For some reason, it's just.
I think we all do.
Yeah, and we sat down there, had breakfast, and watched.
How good.
Yeah, it was good.
Lovely.
What were the numbers? 10 million?
10 million. So that's the number of last night, 10.1, which is
10 million.
amazing. Half the country almost watching. And then from days 1 to 3 across the weekend, Channel 9's achieved a TV reach of 14.7, which I think combined across the coverage is their top 3 highest reaching days for 9 in ratings history. It's incredible.
Well, you think, I mean...
Live sport.
Well, one, live sport, but two, I reckon everyone missed out through the COVID, and everyone was... There's a renewed interest in it again, I reckon.
Tokyo was hard to watch.
It was, because there's no atmosphere, and everyone was a bit down in the dumps anyway, because you couldn't do it, whatever. But it's interesting, because you get, we've got some real medal chances, haven't we?
Oh, so that's it's back in full flight.
And you're watching sports that you'd never really watched before.
Well, here's one. I sat and watched with Jody the... what do you call the...
skating?
The skateboard.
Yeah, the skate park.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I could have qualified. I watched for a half an hour every nation. One of them landed a trick.
I felt sorry.
Was that the one they did the slide down on the thing?
And they were useless. I could go to the West Beach skate park. Hey, Rooster, you want to represent Australia? What was the... One of them's 14. How could she be the best skater? 14?
Yeah, but they're too young, and it is overwhelming, I think. The thing I was probably getting into last night that perhaps I shouldn't have been commentating on was the synchronised diving.
Yeah, I watched the same.
Yeah.
We happened to be, we were just saying off air, I happened to sit down after dinner and watch a bit of it too, and it was... I mean, if it was on any other time, you'd be going, I'm not watching it.
But it's Olympic. They're the best of the
world. Chinese guys. That was unbelievable.
They were unreal, weren't they?
That was
amazing. And it's quite amazing. I said, I thought that one was not bad. And the wife tells me, she said, no, he jumped a second behind him. Really.
There's no synchronisation in
that. Nothing in that. I said, well, look good to me.
But how brilliant is that?
Oh, it's amazing.
And they've got to get it right. Like the Olympics, there's no second... No. Like we have 21 rounds to make the finals or whatever the hell it is. I mean, they got to get it right.
Well, I saw the boxer, Harry. Oh, gosh, he was shattered.
Have you watched that Netflix Sprint? Have you watched that series?
No, I haven't yet.
Sprint?
Yeah, it's called Sprint. So it's essentially... It's a bit of... The only reason I watched it was more on the basis because it's coming into the Olympics. So it's got a bit of a background for the males and females in terms of the 100 and 200.
Right.
And it goes through the lead up to it. It's actually really, really good for people who want to watch it. And it's a good lead up so you know who's essentially running in the Olympics.
All right. Well, that's the Olympic
update.
Let's talk footy.
We've got a massive month of football coming up, haven't we?
We have. Yeah, it starts this weekend, doesn't it?
It starts this weekend with all the games, all the clashes, the absolute vital clashes that we've got going on. But you've got even the Saints Brisbane is important because Brisbane need to keep winning. But you've got the Bombers taking on FIVEAA. You've got GWS and the Hawks. Collingwood, Carlton.
Unbelievable.
It's always big, Campo, but this is ridiculous.
They'll get 95 there.
Unbelievable.
Collingwood lose. One of my absolute favourites.
Player.
I shouldn't have favourites as a coach, but I used to love watching him. I just... His poise and his resilience to play that long in the game. Like people have an idea, and I'm not disrespecting people who don't understand, but to play that many games, and don't forget, that's 400 AFL games. He's played practice games, he's played internal trials, he's to do what he's done, and
20 years.
What a modest
I reckon there's
champion he is.
Two blokes, him and Barry Robin, who look like the movie The Matrix, where everything else is going at 100 mile an hour, and they're just moving like as if it's slow motion, and everybody else is going past, and they're incredible.
They did a thing on Fox, I reckon it was the other night, maybe Monday night or Sunday after the game, and they slowed it down in terms of, and his eyes, and you played the game, and you just see his vision compared to everyone else, and you just see the way he scours the ground and his composure when the heat's on. Like he plays in a position where there's not a lot of time.
I thought his last quarter in the grand final was brilliant. I thought it was pivotal in winning.
They say if you could get a couple of things of a player, and if you had a team like, and John Longway actually recruits this, you make good decisions under pressure, and then you add that with skill to hit a target, you have 20 players like that. Imagine how many least turnovers you got. And it's a turnover game, isn't it? It's an absolute gun. Oh, this one caught my eye. One day I'm going to ring and totally embarrass you, Row. Well, here's lines available. 822-300-00. Ring and embarrass me, and I'll give you a $100 pizza pan voucher.
Just for doing it.
Just for doing it.
I'll give you a unique home-style food donut.
There's the challenge.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. They're just a text. One day I will ring up and
just
totally
does this
embarrass
randomly.
you.
Wow. It's like Tourette's.
What happened after the game? We had one bloke ring up and said the magic word, we had to dump him and wanted to meet me out the back of the Ken Farmer statue. And
yeah, he did.
So it was my fault the Crows lost by 11 goals, was it?
No, that wasn't your fault.
What was the fault?
But you shouldn't encourage people to meet you at the back, though, on a Sunday night.
No,
They may have had a couple
Okay, 11 goals, what happened? What happened?
Look, in hindsight, I mean, we said the call, Timmy, I don't know if you heard it, but the first quarter was how they wanted to play. You could see that that's how they wanted to set the game up, but Hawthorn, to their credit, and Adelaide have done that as well in games. They've been able to adjust, compared to what the opposition doing. But then after quarter time, they just got capitulated, to be honest. They got beaten around the contest, and then their spread, Hawthorn, the way they covered the ground. I mean, I've watched a little bit of them the last month, just out of curiosity, I guess, like most people, as to how they're going about it. But their spread of players, particularly, one, their pressure on the ball to shut the opposition down, two, defend and then go. And they go
sprint to space.
Well, they go really quickly. And because they're not, we could said it in the call, Rowey, they're not like, they don't have key forwards. So what they do is they ask you a question, and even structurally, I mentioned to Rowey, I love the way they've actually got always an anchor in the forward line. The modern day game is let's press up the ground.
They stay back.
And it was Ginnivan versus Bond. And I'm mentioning the call, Rowey. Remember I said, how nervous do you reckon he would be? He's in his third game, and he's got Jack Ginnivan, and literally the next lot of pairs of players were virtually in line with the centre circle. And so he had, arguably 70 or 80 metres of space
to defend
that if they go real quick. So I love that from a coaching perspective, because I'm sitting there going, he's using the tools that he's got, and he's not getting caught up in the way that everyone else plays, and he's using his
I have to
attributes and
keep
his
this
strength.
shape.
Correct.
I don't have to. I can do this.
So it was. I really enjoyed watching him, to be honest, and the way they went about it.
Yeah, well, you'd know this better than any because you coached up to 2017. Taylor Walker on Triple M Breakfast had this to say.
They're an outstanding fight. I think they're the most informed team in the competition. Like, I look at it and I go, the last team that I played against that were that good and that, were pressured the opposition into mistakes and just absolutely punished you the other way, I feel like it was back in 2017 when Richmond won the flag.
Speed and intensity, and the little fellas just getting at you.
Well, it's chaos, isn't it? It's the chaos ball that they get you, and they go forward and they make you turn around. And when you haven't got, when you've got, I guess, taller type defenders that can't, and it doesn't really matter what size, but as soon as defenders get turned around and now all of a sudden you're running back towards goal, you're always in massive trouble. But, Richmond were very good.
They were.
I reckon Adelaide turned a fair few around in 2017 as well. It caused a few headaches. But
Charlie Cameron being
I always
one.
thought Geelong were always the best team. Over my coaching tenure, through that period of time. Just the way their balance, their structure, their turnover.
The talent.
They had huge talent. Huge talent. But I always thought they were the hardest team to coach against.
I think the listeners, and we're still getting them through now, and our question was, what do you want to see for the rest of the year? I'll ask you that very shortly. Keep them coming in on the Unique Homestyle Food text. But my frustration, it's not anger or disappointment. I said before the game they're going to lose. I mean, they got too much high-end talent out. But the fact that Hawthorn and Fremantle have gone over top of us, that's it just gets me. And they have. They have. On the back of midfield.
In a quicker period of time,
Well, they have. They have.
And I think that's a fair assessment. But ultimately, you can only develop who you've got as well. So, yes, picks are one thing, but you've still got to develop that talent that comes in the door. So even, you're a first-round pick, like Will Day, let's use Will Day example. It doesn't matter where he comes from, but he gets picked at pick 12. They've still got to develop him in terms to make him the player and have a game style that suits that.
And play him in the position that he was recruited for.
Correct. So, but he didn't always start in the midfield, Will. So he was a halfback flanker as well. So he wasn't always a genuine. And so he got put in there after the Hawthorn got rid of Tom Mitchell and Jacob O'Meara and those guys. So that was the evolution of that
Which is what they did. They cleaned out completely, didn't they?
Correct. So
emptied the draw.
So, and that's okay. And I think Adelaide probably did, I think Sam Mitchell culled to 90%. I reckon Adelaide probably culled to about 75, because you still had Sloan and Walker.
Because there was a lot of criticism of that at the time, saying they cut too deep. They should have kept some of the older ones.
And I think at the time it's probably just because those guys are still searching for some leadership. And Adelaide are no different, and even Port. You look at that midfield, it's still a young midfield. So you need some experienced heads. And I was really pleased with Port's game on the weekend, Timmy, on the basis that I love the fact that they put Drew back in there that gave him better balance. And I love the fact that Ollie, who's a Brownlow medalist, he just said, come on, boys.
He got down and dirty, didn't he?
I'm just going to take this on board and let the other guys, we knew probably Butters was going to get tagged.
Yeah.
That was an obvious one. And then Drew takes Cripps, and then it really comes down to who won. And I thought they were really good.
Just quickly, I'll just quickly do it because Sam did the work on this. From 2019 to 2023, that's 5 drafts. So I said both teams finished pretty much around the same mark in the ladders, and same as Fremantle, although they had 1 year where they spiked. Top 10 picks, Hawks have had 4, Adelaide have had 4, so the same. So 2019 they had pick 13 where they got Will Day, and 6 we got Mackesy. Park that one because we absolutely botched that. Pick 6 to pick 2, we got Thilthorpe. Pick 7 to 6, 7 to 17, 5. Look, it mirrors it.
Yeah.
One team did well and the other team hasn't.
Yeah, but don't forget too in that too. You get Rankin and Dawson in the door as well,
which was huge.
So you're
they're
giving
2 best players.
Well, and you're giving up obviously high-end draft picks for those guys as well. So you got to give something to get something as well.
Yep.
I think it's probably pre that, really. There was
the 15 to 19 that I talk about, the lost years. Yeah. Hello, Liam at Parafield Gardens.
How you going, Rowey?
Yeah, good.
Timmy and Campo.
How are you, mate?
Hey, look, I'm just ringing up. The weekend's performance and the comparisons to Hawthorn make me very uncomfortable as a Crows supporter. So it got me thinking, listening to some of the callers and talking about how Hawthorn have been playing the kids. And the facts are there when you compare the games. What I really am a bit concerned about is the fact that nobody in the decision-making has gone through a proper rebuild. I know that Tim Silvers was at Hawthorn when they were going through their rebuild, but I believe that was in a finance sort of role, from what I've read. And I think Nixie came in at the Power as they sort of climbed up with Kent. But, no one has been through a proper rebuild, and the club itself hasn't had a proper rebuild. So my concerns lie around the decision-making. And, the recruiters obviously see something in these players that are drafted. Maybe it's long-term potential. Maybe it's, a fleeting moment that they see. But, at the moment, it's just appeared as if we were just backing in, as Rowey said earlier, the midfield talent that we had, the Lairds, the Crouches, the Sloanes to get the job done for so long, and we haven't sort of eased those players in or looked for opportunities to get those players in. They're just stuck in the dead end, chasing roll of half forward.
Well, I think you've got to have a strategy, Liam, and I'd love to sit down one day and ask what their strategy has been in the last 7 years.
Hey, Campo, we got a break for unique home-style food. And when we come back, I wouldn't mind you have a look. I think you've done some homework. What the top 4 teams from the last 4 weeks, because we're saying the next 4 weeks are vital. Who's sort of looking okay at the moment?
We'll keep taking your calls as well for that $100 pizza pan voucher, 8223 0000. Let's check your traffic.
G'day, there at Noarlunga Downs. A crash at Goldsmith Drive near the Burgess Drive roundabouts. Crash at Para Hills 2, Bridge Road near McIntyre Road, and Henley Beach Southburst Watermain, Seaview Road near Lexington Road. Slow right now, South Road at Edwardstown, busy Brighton Road, Brighton with a camera, Clayton Road at Salisbury East. Book your Asia getaway at Flight Centre and save up to 50%. Escape to Phuket for 8 nights from just $865 for 2. Hurry, ends soon. Book with Flight Centre today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Tune into the 5AA Sports Show each week for Where Are They Now? The sporting names you remember from the past revisited. Thanks to Walco.
Again, the centre of SA's biggest cover-up. Get your Walco Guardian pool cover now.
The Lordman and Pank sale is here. Enjoy 20% off a range of prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses and contact lenses today. Hurry, offer ends July 31. T's and C's apply. See website for details. Book an eye test today. Lordman and Pank. We care for eyes.
I eventually ended up in the city and homeless.
This is Kingsley.
I was cold and confused because I did not know where to go, where to get help. I mean, I've struggled all my life, but to hit the rock bottom like that, I just never thought that would occur.
Kingsley's found his feet thanks to the Hutt Street Centre.
I love it. It's great there. Yeah, it's fantastic. All the staff there have been absolutely magnificent. They've given me so much help. I don't know where I'd have been if it wasn't for the Hutt Street Centre. Hutt Street do their absolute very best to make sure that these people are cared for. That's the number one priority for them.
Sign up to Hutt Street Centre's Walk a Mile in My Boots challenge to show your support and raise vital funds for more than 7,000 South Australians currently experiencing homelessness. Just head to walkamile.org.au.
I'm Kingsley, and I encourage you to walk a mile for the Hutt Street Centre.
If I said a South Australian institution, what would you be thinking?
Be or Shipway.
Correct, Wait. Well done. They've been looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years, and the BL Shipway team are the best in the business. They've been working with the best suppliers in the industry, including Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Allpath, Easy Fit and many more. They have plenty of stock in their new location, 71 Morford Road, and the team of experts there are brilliant. So get in store, jump on the blower, have a chat. They're always there ready to help. But BL Shipway's state-of-the-art workshop will take care of your equipment servicing and repairs. And if they can't, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 mobile hose repair van your way, no problem. Support a great SA company when you need something to do with hydraulics. BL Shipway is the place to go. 71 Morford Road, Camden Park, blshipway.com.au.
Drums, please. Unprecedented, unparalleled, unrivaled. For the very first time, Edwardstown Mazda is offering discounts greater than 10% on all Mazda demonstrator models. Every demo, every model with a minimum discount of 10%. Plus a minimum trade-in of $2,000 on your old vehicle. This offer is exclusive to Edwardstown Mazda.
It's gotta be
Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA.
Hey caravan buyers, listen up. Want a great caravan at a bargain price? Then don't miss the best going, gone sale ever. Our landlord has sold the property and our lease can't be renewed, so we've got to be going, gone quick smart. And so does the great range of new and used caravans we have in stock. So be quick and grab your dream van from Adelaide Custom Caravans at a never-to-be-repeated dream price. But hurry before they're all going, gone. Get to Adelaide Custom Caravans today, South Road, Darlington.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 25 minutes after 5 for Unique Homestyle Foods. Campo is in the studio with us. You can watch on the Foodland live stream. We're on Facebook and YouTube. And you can call in for that $100 pizza pan voucher, 8223 0000.
Actually, we might do that right now. Just Brett at Hillbank has called in. Thanks very much, Brett. What do you got to enlighten us with?
I've got a couple of things.
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like the Adelaide Football Club to stop acting like a political party and listen to the supporters and give us some true answers instead of beating around the bush all the time. That's what I'd like, first of all.
Yep.
The second point I'd like to make is now I'm going to have a bit of a go at Rowey, even though I love him. Rowey, you said at the start of the season, you said the Crows are going to make top 4.
No, I didn't. I've never said that.
Well,
no, I haven't.
You go back some recordings and you said, top 4. I reckon we can make top 4. And you said the Treaders will even finish higher than Port.
I've said that.
And you also said the Crows could even push for top 4. I'm pretty sure you go back to some recordings and I reckon you'll find out. Now,
Brett, if I said it, I'd admit it. There's no way. Well, I'm just looking at my producer that is over everything, and I'll look at him again. Do you reckon I said that? He shrugged his shoulders.
He's not a team player.
Timmy, do you reckon I said that?
I just saw the number 94 bus just go past. And I reckon you were under it.
Anyway, way you go, Brett. Keep going.
Well, what I'll say to you is that now, if you said, I believe you said they're going to finish in the top, well, you definitely said they're going to finish in the top 8. Now, you obviously believe they had the talent at the end of last season. What makes you say that they haven't got the talent this year? Which I actually agree with you. So what made you think they could make the top 4 or push for the top
Brett,
4?
I remember what I said. So on the back of last year's spike, and they declared the rebuild's over, and they're the #1 scoring team. I said this on a number of occasions. If the Crows can keep their best 22 to 25, that we do rate together, which we saw last year. Toward the end of the last year, they were playing even better footy. If they can get that together, I've always said, Brett, that if you get into I've called it the biscuit barrel, right into the biscuit barrel, I don't think they've got enough high-end talent. But, yeah, I think aspirationally, you'd think that they could make the 8.
No harm in that pre-season. There's no doubt we live in a land of
mate.
Optimism. Talking about optimism, Campo asked before the break, top 4 from the last 4 weeks, but more importantly, who's in a good position for the next 4 weeks?
I wrote down 4 teams. I had a bit of a look at them. Brisbane are flying.
Right.
Like that, they've got just about everything covered at the moment in terms of the way they go about it. And the other thing that I like about them is they got there last year.
Yeah, true.
So they've got over that hump of
prelims,
one prelims, but 2 grand final day, and they got within a kick as well. So let's not worry. So the other one, I do like the Bulldogs. I've always liked the Bulldogs, particularly because I like their midfield, and I think that if they can stay fit and healthy with Ugle-Hagan and Norton and these guys up forward, I think they've got the potential. And I've loved what they've done with Rory Lobb. Just to go back. I mean, out of necessity, you find out sometimes about some players. So I think that's great coaching. I still like GWS. I still think that they're a team that's got some capacity to keep going. Particularly, once again, I think they've got great depth across all lines. Sam Taylor's going to be really important for them to make sure that, he's really important for their tilt going forward. And I still like the Cats.
Yeah.
I still like the Cats.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. I've been on them all the time. They've fluctuated as well as a lot of other teams, but I just feel like.
So you rate Chris Scott as a coach?
I think he's a very good coach. And he maximises what he has, and he thinks outside the square a bit as well. And he always just manages to get them up at the right time of the year. And it's we saw it 2 years ago with the oldest list.
They managed it well,
beautifully, and they've. You talk about not having a rebuild. Like he has that philosophy of recruit for now or trade for now and draft for the future. Yeah. And they've done that as good as anyone. Yeah. And I still think that they've got the cattle to get it done and go deep into the finals.
All right, you didn't mention Sydney.
Well, Sydney's. I left them out on the basis that they've been so good for majority of the year. Their last month, but they've been smacked by injuries as well. But they're 1 and 2 in just about every category. But I'm looking outside of that 1 or 2.
It marries up with exactly what you've just done there, Campo. 16 of the last 18 premiers have been in what they call the flag window, where a club sits in the top 6 for offence and defence, while every premier in the last 18 years is ranked in the top 6 for defence. So right now, Sydney, Brisbane and Bulldogs are the only only 3 clubs that are in that, which is exactly what you said. The ones that are knocking on the door, Geelong have got to get a bit better at attack. GWS are 1 goal away from defence to be able to get there, and the other one's Fremantle.
Yeah.
So you were right on the money. Port of nowhere, Timmy.
Oh, no, they're right in that corner there, mate.
Porter, 8th.
Right there.
I'm just saying. 8th
right
for
there.
points for and 9th for points against.
Well, it's a big game.
I can't see red, yellow and blue on here.
No, we're off the page.
Right.
We're in that bottom left-hand quartile.
Yeah.
Change or leave.
This game, like, for you talk
Well
about
done,
mental
Campo.
capacity, this is a big game for Port.
Oh,
yeah.
I think if they can get over this one with Sydney, that gives them some real confidence going in. There's still some things I'm still worried, in terms of their game style.
But it also hits the 13-win barrier mark.
Correct.
Which is a confidence booster. So, well done, mate. Thanks for coming in. You're
he's
always
got one
a
more
pleasure.
question.
He has.
Finish this sentence, as our listeners have. I want to see this from the Crows for the rest of the year.
I want to see Curtin play some serious midfield time. Have a look at that. And he's probably not going to like me, Tex, but I want to see that forward line function without him in it. So I'd be prepared. I'd be prepared to forego the last couple of weeks, particularly if it's not.
And his back's knackered.
And he's no good. And let's not put. The one thing I don't like as a coach is putting players out there when they're not, because they get exposed. And he's been too good a player to be exposed. And not that he was. I mean, I gave him a vote on the weekend.
Yeah,
he was still good. But if we're looking to the future, I want to see Fogarty, Thilthorpe, and that forward line function without him in there.
Well done.
Okay. All thanks to Unique Homestyle Foods, proudly baking hundreds of South Australian businesses, large and small. For 35 years, Matty B, hustler in the baking industry. Visit uniquehomestylefoods.com.au. Brings us Campo.
We're going to chat to the father of Jess Fox, Richard Fox, live in Paris after the headlines.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. Regional airline Rex has suspended ticket sales ahead of a formal announcement tomorrow about its future. A new discharge option has been announced for patients who are homeless to help free up hospital beds. Adelaide has beaten New York, Paris and Barcelona to be named the most beautiful city in the world. And in sport, the Boomers play Canada tonight in Game 2 of their Olympic campaign. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Unleash the night at the Crazy Horse Review, where every show is unforgettable. Hindley Street.
G'day there at Glenelg East. A crash, Brighton Road near Harris Street, Noongar Downs. Another collision there, Goldsmith Drive near the Burgess Drive roundabout. And another smash at Para Hills, Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Hello, Beach Outburst Waterway in the Savo, Seaview Road near Lexington Road with detours in place with a camera at Walkerville Terrace at Gilberton. The Subaru sale has been extended. Get free Rojo and CTP, 5 years roadside assist and a fuel voucher on selected models. T's and C's apply, ends July 31. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, mostly clear tonight, down to 7, 18 tomorrow, partly cloudy. Right now it's 11. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
This is good news. Architectural Digest have just released a list of the top 20 most beautiful cities on planet Earth. That is the go-to mag for the architecture profession. Adelaide, Australia, first place. You're kidding?
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
We're beating Barcelona. The home of modernism. Antonio Gaudi. Yeah, but wasted his time.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
CMAX are looking for individuals to contribute to medical research. COVID is an ongoing challenge to public health globally. Now, local Aussies can get involved to help make a difference and trial a new potential treatment. If you're aged 18 to 60, you may be eligible to take part, and all participants are paid upon completion of the trial. Visit cmax.com.au and look for the COVID study to register your interest today. That's cmax.com.au.
Her mum's on the phone while she's on her skates.
Careful, honey, don't get too close to the road.
She rides from the top of the driveway to test how fast she can go. And suddenly...
Wait, stop!
She's testing your brakes too. Stop and take time to ensure your car stops in time and the brakes are all you hit. Let Automasters test your brakes before someone else does. Call 1300 Automasters.
Now, you've probably heard of pool sharks. Those are sneaky snooker players that tell you that, you know, they're pretty average with a pool cue, but when you play them, they wipe the floor with you. I think it's called hustler. That's what they are. Believe me, when I say I'm pretty average, I'm actually telling the truth. I really am average, but I do love playing at Empire Bar and Pool.
You smoked me at Carasaulus's house the other
It
night.
wasn't too bad, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you did 8-0. I had to take the decks off. You can do that at Empire Bar and Pool.
Yes,
Someone
absolutely.
smokes you 8-0, you don't get a shot.
Yeah.
Now, I'm terrible, but whether you're a seasoned pro or just looking for some fun, Empire Bar and Pool is the perfect place to go. Well, after the game.
That's right.
How good's that? Just dribble over the bridge, turn left there.
And it's Saturday night, Port Plains, Sydney. If you see me there, please don't hustle me. Just tell me how good you are, right?
It's just across the bridge at 2 Gresham Street, opposite Parliament House. No booking needed. Walk-ins welcome. Empire Bar and Pool. Do it. Rack 'em up before or after the footy.
At Simplicity Funerals, we have been keeping funerals simple and easy for over 40 years. Visit simplicityfunerals.com.au or call us 24/7 to get started today. Simplicity Funerals. Easy, respectful, simple.
Pressure washing your entire home, driveway, pavers, retaining walls and windows is way easier than you think, but not if you do it yourself. Forget that. Call Fresh Front, Adelaide's #1 rated pressure cleaning company, making tired homes and businesses look new again. Fresh Front are trained to clean just about every surface safely, so no damage. Fresh Front work harder than anyone to ensure your satisfaction or your money back. Visit freshfront.com.au. Looks like new.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
much. It's been a dream day here in Paris, and this medal means so much to me, and I'm so grateful to everyone who's helped me and all the Aussies who stayed up late in the middle of the night to watch me and cheer for me. So thank you, everyone back home.
Amazing to hear. Jess Fox, a gold medalist once again in the K1 over the weekend. It's 23 minutes to 6.
Yeah, here's her dad, Richard Fox, Channel 9 canoe slalom expert commentator. Richard, welcome. What another proud dad moment.
Exactly. Hello, Adelaide. Yeah, amazed. And Jess said it there, grateful. Yeah, we're just so glad it worked out that way. It's her fourth games, and she got silver, bronze, and now finally she got the big one. So it was an amazing day.
That was the one she wanted, the K1. Silver, bronze, as you said. Was it the perfect 96 seconds?
It was, look, in the context of a big final, Olympic Games, having come eighth in the semi, it was pretty bloody good. But if you look at it, like any performance, there's always, a little bit here and there. But overall, it was the complete package. And, I mean, the others really, credit all round. It was a great women's final, and they had a good crack at it. And it was uncertain all the way to the end for the last three boats as to whether they'd make it or not. So it was there to be beaten. But, holding it together the whole way down is what made it such a magnificent performance, because the course is really tough. The stage, the crowd, the build-up, the anticipation. I think she really wanted it, but it's sometimes in those occasions that sort of want and desire can overrun you. So it was probably the most impressive performance for her ever.
Wow. Richard, C1 gold, we knew that in Japan was unbelievable. She's been after the K1 from that silver in London. What's the better gold? Well, I know Jess has said, this is the one I've wanted. It's like picking your kids, I know. But what's, from a technical standpoint, Richard, you know canoeing, which one's the better gold?
Wow, that's a tough question. You'd have to. That's a tiebreaker. We have to go to third party adjudication. No, I think. Look, they both stand up in their own right. They took the gold in the C1. That was the first time that event was on the program. Jess had been, a leader for many years in that category. It kind of, that had so much significance, and it came after the sort of disappointment in the K1 in Tokyo. So it was massive, and it was the first one. So it had to, in a way, it sort of had to come for her. And then, this one, it's the fourth crack at it. In London, she was an 18-year-old and comes away with a silver medal, but she was so close, and she was very happy with that. But two Olympics of disappointment in the kayak event. I don't know. I think she wouldn't pick between them either, so I'll leave it as a dead heat. And it's a double gold. They did that in the high jump, didn't they?
Yes, they did, exactly.
God, I wished I hadn't asked the question now.
I was going to ask, Richard, just you're in the commentary box. It's your daughter competing for a gold medal. And your commentary, you wouldn't know that it was your daughter. You're incredibly professional. You maintain the same pitch, tone, and deliver it well. Stephen and I call AFL football, we call our own teams. And when
I called my own son.
When we're winning or losing, we tend to get speed wobble and just go off the tracks. Do you have any advice to either of us about how do you stay on track?
I think, get wrapped up in the process, the technical process and the analytics. And that's my role, really. I mean, Dave Colbert, he does a great job. He's the anchor. He brings all of that, the context and the emotion. He looks at me and he's the famous thing from Tokyo was that I don't say much until, and he's going to give me a nudge and she's not quite halfway down the course and I get into it. This time, I think it was a bit different. It was about how the run was building. But I try and sort of put myself in the boat or in the coaching box, if you like, and look at it that way because it is a technical role that I have. But certainly, I never really remember what I've said, and I watched the replay when I went into the 9 studio in Paris, and actually we could see the screen in the high digital format. And the screens we're looking at, it's a bit blurry. And I was going, oh, wow, that's amazing. It looks really good. And then I heard myself, saying, go Jess at the end. But, yeah, I was a bit more detached. And Dave did make the comment about the other women. I mean, I try and be objective. And I can't believe that I was saying, Ricarda Funk, the last one down, the reigning champion. Yeah. I was sort of talking up what she needed to do to finish off her run. And, the commentator's curse worked in our favour because just as I was saying that, and she made a mistake, but she was on a massive run that could have taken Jess down, and she made that mistake. But yeah, I guess just try and keep it to the technicality and the emotion. The emotion is there. I mean, I can't get past that.
And what's the comp like this year in the C1s? Is it going to be fierce again?
Yeah, it will be. There's Mallory Franklin, who was silver in Tokyo, and that was quite close. She was very fast. She's looking good on the course. And then there's a younger contender, Gabriela Satkova. She's ranked number 2 in the world. She's on the rise. So I'd say those two are the main challenges to Jess, and the German Elena Lilich, who's also very good. But I mean, it's a tough course. I mean, we watched yesterday. It was the men's C1 competition. Tristan Carter made the final. It was his first games, came ninth. But a couple of moves out there which were challenging, and it was only really the home favourite, the Frenchman Nicolas Gestin, who got everything right. So it'll be tough for everyone, and Jess will take each. Well, today's the heat, tomorrow's the semi, and it'll be like the kayak. You've got to be in it to win it, get into that final, and I think what's been good for her is she had a day off yesterday, and that was so useful and valuable for her. That I spoke to her now. She said, "I'm ready to go again." So that's good.
That's good. Well, good luck to Jess and your other daughter Noemi as well, mate. Richard, well done. Congratulations. A proud dad moment. You've had many of them in your life. Well done, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Oh, Richard Fox, absolute champion at what he does, and I do admire the way he keeps
my
on
word.
track. You can see it all live and free on Channel 9 now. Every Olympic event streamed live and free with replays, and every big Australian moment on 9 now.
Well done. Let's go to Seaview Downs. Hello, Stephen.
Good afternoon, Rowey and Tim. Look, what I'd like to see, and probably what I'd like to hear, is a one-on-one interview with you, Steve, with Roo, and no holds barred. Ask the hard questions with regard to, as him being the footy director of recruiting, what is going on? Like me and many other thousands of people, I've been a member for 32 years. I've spent my money. We would like to know what's their strategy, and I think we deserve to hear from Roo directly what is entailed in the future. Do you see where I'm coming from, Steve?
No, I do, Steve. I've had a number of one-on-ones on air with Tim Silvers and John Olsen. I've only had the one interview with Roo on air. Make no mistake, I've had one-on-ones in boardrooms with Tim Silvers, one-on-one in boardrooms here with John Olsen, and the same with Roo. I've had a number of meetings with Roo about it. You got to understand, when I sit in this chair, number one, I'm a broadcaster, and I've got to do my job. I've got to have an opinion. Do I have all the facts as Roo has? Of course I don't. Do I have as many facts as Tim Silvers, which can put it all on the table? Look, I don't. But I can have an opinion, and some say it might be a strong one. A lot of people say it's the wrong one. But that's what it is. It's an opinion. It stimulates debate. Now, would they listen to me? No. Would I be able to get it out of them on air? No. They'll run their own race. Now, I'd love to, and I would. I mean, if Roo rang tomorrow and said, come on, we'd have him on.
Yeah.
Well, he's number one rating breakfast show in Adelaide. Of course you would.
You feel that.
And he's the greatest player our club's had, along with a couple of others. Yeah. I'd love to do that, but it ain't going to happen. And they wouldn't listen anyway.
Do you feel that Stephen from Seaview Downs is probably just reflecting maybe the supporter base that feels like it's not being heard?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what he's saying.
And they're seeing you like the vehicle to be able to do
maybe,
that.
And I'm not the vehicle. I have never wanted to be the vehicle. I sit here and do a job, as you do, and it's bloody tough because you get criticism. I have phone calls. What would you say that, you wanker? Oh, actually, dump that. Actually, dump that.
Yep, good work. No language.
I dump myself.
Well done. See how good you're getting. Let's go to Highgate. G'day, David.
Yeah, g'day, boys. That's probably a good segue into my point of view on the Crows and the issues around the Crows in terms of the membership and the supporters feeling not being heard. I reckon our demise started when we left Footy Park. We used to have the shed there back in the day. We used to have barbecues in the car park, and there was a real club atmosphere around it. I know we had probably 3 successful years when we first went to Adelaide Oval, but it seems like the club's lost its soul. There is just no home base. I'm not blaming anyone for that. I'm just saying it's bleeding obvious that there is nowhere for the supporters to go back after the game, to gather before the game, after the game, to rub shoulders with coaches, officials, players, which a real club does. Our club doesn't do it. Our club can't do it because we don't have a headquarters.
Dave, it's true. We lost our soul. There's no question. It was a great move going there. We just got to get it home. Let's hope we get it quicker than we wanted to. I lived this with Nord. We had a Redlegs club. Yeah. I grew up in that club. Yep. The Redlegs club, across the road from the Oval. When they bulldozed the minute that bulldozer was there, I felt like we lost our soul. Mm-hmm. Now we've got it back because the club's done really well, but it's taken a lot of years.
Spot on, but
and a lot of heartache.
It feels a lot better.
It feels a lot better, Timmy.
Yeah, let's go to Blackwood. G'day, Rosie.
Oh, I've been so nervous for the last half hour waiting. I haven't spoken to you guys before, but the competition, I've written a bit of a poem.
Oh, please.
Okay, so I want the Crows to see that they were the best they could be. We will always be here to cheer. They have tried hard all year. It's a good sport, after all, whether they rise or fall.
Rosie.
I'll tell you what, Rosie, you got a bit of Banjo Patterson about you. That's beautiful.
I know, but, it's a game.
Yeah.
It's a game, and, they tried, and we're still there for them,
Do you know what, Rosie? That is the attitude of the week. I need to have a bit of Rosie in my life.
Oh, no doubt. Good on you, Rosie. Appreciate your call. And here's one of our favourites, North Haven, Tracy. G'day, Trace.
Hello, guys. How you going?
All right. Trace. What do you want to say,
mate? Thank God the Olympics are on because I've been raw. I actually left the game at 3/4 time. Firstly, because I was absolutely freezing. And secondly, they weren't playing well. What I really want to see is the next month, them play like their lives are depending on it. Because contracts are up. People are going to be looking at who's going to be staying, who's going to be going. If they want to stay at the club and they want to be part of it and they want to play football, prove it.
I think they are playing for their lives, Tracy. And I hate it when I interview players and they say, well, I'm playing for my next contract. And you said it, the minute it went professional, they're sharing $12 million over 40-odd players, and
become a
the average player's on 400,000. Of course they're playing for their next contract.
Yeah, it changes.
But it's wrong, isn't it?
We've got a lot coming up.
It's not what it used to be. 9 minutes to 6. Let's check your roads.
Acklenelg East, a crash to look out for. Brighton Road near Harris Street. Another collision Noarlunga Downs. Goldsmith Drive near the Burgess Drive roundabout. And a prang at Para Hills. Bridge Road near McIntyre Road. Hilly Beach Southburst, Watermain, Seaview Road near Lexington Road. And slow right now, Main North Road at Enfield. Got a camera too, Glenburn Road at Burnside. Look for the RAA sign and over 400 independent RAA-approved repairers across SA. You know you can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
I'm Timmy G.
It's time to give away some locker room tickets to Port Adelaide and Sydney on Saturday. If you want to head along, 8223 0055. We'll give them away next in Timmy's quiz. Get ready.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Catch all the action from the Olympic Games in Paris as 5AA brings you Nine's coverage live each evening from 11:30. Don't miss a minute of the action as our Aussie stars set their sights on gold medal glory. Tune in tonight following Leith Forest as we cross to France for Nine's coverage. Paris 2024, live from 11:30 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Noisy kids!
What are they celebrating?
Shut up! Honey, I just remembered! KFC are doing 6 for $6.95 hot and crispy boneless for Christmas all July! Shut up and take my money!
Not everywhere and not forever. Pick up only.
Stay warm this winter with Mac Trade Services.
Take advantage of huge SA government rebates on reverse cycle air conditioners. If you are a concession card holder, you can get a reverse cycle Actron air conditioner from only $599, supplied and installed. That's nearly a 70% discount off the normal price. Get in quick while stocks last. Visit the Mac Trade Services office in Rose Park or call 1300 430 917.
5AA locker room quiz next. How good's that? Hey, use your outdoor area all year round with FIVEAA House. They're the market leader in transforming your outdoor space into a great entertainment area with an opening and closing roof.
Very smart.
Touch of a button.
Oh, yeah, very smart. A FIVEAA House roof will let in the perfect combination of airflow, sunlight as you need it, and you can use it night and day with options like LED lighting. How good. When the weather turns, well, automatic rain sensing technology keeps everything dry and protected. I might put it on my whole house.
How good. Visit the showroom, see for yourself. Everything is manufactured here in SA from the highest quality materials, then distributed across the state and Australia by a family-owned and proud South Australian operated business.
Correct. Don't wait. Call them today to organise a free, no-obligation design, measuring quote, and they'll even come to you. Entertain outdoors all year round and see the light with FIVEAA House. Yes, visit fiveahouse.com.au.
Tired of waking up tired? IKEA can help. Start building a more sleep-friendly space with IKEA, the one-stop shop for snoozing. So wake up. It's time to sleep. Make it happen at ikea.com.au.
Living with diabetes? Ditch finger pricks with Freestyle Libre, the wearable sensor that monitors glucose levels straight to your phone. Trial it now for only $15 at freestylelibre.com.au. T's and C's apply. Follow directions for use.
Harris Scarf clearance sale is on now. That's right, massive clearance sale on now. Save big on bedding, kitchen, electrical and women and men's clothing. Deals won't last, so hurry before it's gone. Exclusions apply. Harris Scarf, great brands, great prices.
Feel good health catch on with Bupa. Get up to 10 weeks free when you join Bupa on eligible products. T's and C's apply. For award-winning health insurance, search Bupa 10 weeks free today.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift.
Deliver more with Toyota, the world's #1 forklift brand. Choose from a great range including pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts, right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Get a Toyota forklift.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
5 minutes to 6. Who wants to get to the 5AA locker room?
Timmy G!
Oi! Oi! Oi!
About 30 people.
Well, they're all lining up, ready to get in the running.
Nettie was just in here. He'll be on after 5 for TJM and Pizza Pan Tuesday. Mark from Summertown. Here's Timmy.
Yeah, g'day, Mark. Okay, my friend, let's get you in there. Question is, Travis Boak has played 364 games for Port Adelaide. How many games did he captain Port Adelaide? Now, I'll give you a hint. It's between 125 and 145 games.
132.
132. Thank you, Mark. Let's go to Jeff. G'day, Jeff.
How you doing?
It's now higher than 132, lower than 145.
139.
Thank you, Jeff. We'll go to Nick. Okay, Nick, it's between 132 and 139 games.
137.
Thank you, Nick. Going to Ray at Semaphore Park. Ray, it's between 132 and 137 games.
132, 137, 134.
Thank you, Ray. Let's go to Paul at Seaton. Paul, it's between 134 and 137. You only have two choices, Paul.
I'm going to go 135.
Congratulations, Paul. You've done it.
Well done, mate.
135 games as skipper between 2013 and 18 was Travis Boak. You are going into the 5AA locker room. You got a pre-game dinner box, halftime balfours. You got 5-hour beverage package. It's going to be awesome, Port Sydney.
Thanks, Timmy and Rowey.
Right on, mate. Congratulations. And if you want tickets, head on to portadelaidefc.com.au for the big game against Sydney Saturday night, 7 p.m.
They are the hottest tickets on our show and in town. The locker room, you'll absolutely love it. There might be one ticket a little bit hotter this week.
Oh, I don't know.
And you know what it'd be.
It'd be the Thunderbirds GF, I reckon.
Yes. I tried to get tickets today.
Yeah.
Good luck. They're hen's teeth. They're just absolutely... I'd love to take my daughter.
Hey, Ned McHenry's going to join us after the 6 o'clock news. You might be watching the Foodland live stream. Just want to sort of tell everybody about how good Pizza Pan is. Look at what they've brought in today.
That is dessert pizza.
Have you ever seen a dessert pizza?
Unbelievable.
They are awesome.
Oh, wow. That is, it looks like a Nutella type topping. And
cherry ripe.
And that's cherry ripe, I reckon.
Yeah.
With icing sugar over the top.
That's unbelievable.
There's nothing they don't think of.
No.
Well described. Pizza Pan Tuesday is every day.
Was Ari come in the other week and I said to him, how do you come up with all these? He said, I've got too much time with me.
Well, we've got a $100 Pizza Pan voucher to give away still, so your call's 8223 0000 with Nettie next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
We chose to use paint professionals because they were referred to us by a previous client who was very impressed with the work that they had done and recommended them highly to us.
Paint professionals turned the job around so quickly from the initial quotation straight through to completion.
Paint professionals provided us with a very professional service. We're extremely happy with the outcome of it.
Painting an entire house or just a room? Make it a great experience with Paint Professionals. Visit paintprofessionals.com.au.
Join over 60,000 Adelaide homes and say yes to lowering your energy bills with Yes, your energy saving solutions. Do you know how much that old fridge in the shed is adding to your electricity bill? Your energy saving solutions can collect your old inefficient fridges and freezers for free, and the best part is that you can also get up to $150 per unit. For T's and C's on this unbeatable offer from your energy saving solutions, go to yes.net.au. That's yess.net.au.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now I know a great team when I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. The Shipway team are the best in the business. They've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. If you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Mostly clear tonight, down to 7, partly cloudy tomorrow, 18. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher. The coroner's inquest into the deaths of Detective Chief Superintendent Joanne Shanahan and Tanya McNeil 4 years ago opened today. It heard driver Harrison Kitt was reported by multiple witnesses for dangerous driving before the deadly smash at Urbray, but they didn't have the rego plate. An hour earlier, the driver was clocked by a speed camera on Victor Harbour Road at Tatachilla, but info collected from those kind of fixed cameras can't be passed on. The opposition says the federal government must pull out all the stops to protect Rex Airlines. Shares in the company are in a trading halt ahead of an announcement tomorrow. It's widely tipped the regional airline will enter administration with 2,000 jobs on the line. Nationals MP Michael McCormack says Rex must not be allowed to fold.
He is a vital regional carrier which kept the nation's regional areas, remote areas, going during COVID. And, yes, we gave them a big support package, a big rescue package. But again, it looks as though Rex is in a bit of strife and we can't afford to not do something.
A new discharge option has been announced for patients who are homeless to help free up hospital beds. Funding will be provided to the Salvation Army to operate 20 beds at Whitmore Square, where patients from the RA or QEH can stay for up to 6 months. Human Services Minister Nat Cook says staff will help residents find longer-term accommodation.
We'll see these people avoid return to hospital, and that frees up hospital beds for other people.
The first beds will be in operation by the end of the year. Well, the cause of a $350,000 house fire at Rowey remains unclear. It broke out at the rear of the home in Hazelmere Court last night. The occupants managed to flee. These neighbours have told Seven it was scary.
The flames just got bigger and bigger and engulfed everything.
The whole house just went up. I was worried for the houses next door and being that we're on the reserve as well, if it kind of ventured over to the trees.
The Belgian Beer Cafe has taken out SA's Best Pub Burger for 2024. Their Black Angus Wagyu burger coming out on top in today's competition. Burgers were judged on a range of criteria, including presentation, taste, meat content and value for money. Chef Ryan Davey reckons he knows the secret to their success.
High quality ingredients, I think. It's a very stock standard type of burger, but we try to just make sure everything that's on it is really, really nice and high quality. So I really think that's just what it is.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Meet Crows and Port AFL stars at Sportscard World's Trade Day this Sunday, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
Day 4 of the Olympic Games are underway in Paris with swimming heats coming up. Shane McGuinness has this preview.
The heats of the men's and women's 100 freestyle headline this morning's session in Paris. Kyle Chalmers will be out to reclaim gold after finishing runner-up in Tokyo 3 years ago. Chalmers has already been in top form at these games, leading Australia to silver in the 4x100 metres freestyle relay on night 1. In the women's freestyle, Shayna Jack and Molly O'Callaghan will go head-to-head in the same heat. O'Callaghan, the second fastest qualifier for the heat, behind Hong Kong's Siobhan Haughey. And Lani Pallister will take to the pool for the first time at these games in the heats of the 1500 metres.
The Boomers play Canada tonight in Game 2 of their Olympic campaign, and Aussie road cyclist Lucas Plapp has withdrawn from this weekend's race on medical grounds. To footy, tickets for the AFLW Showdown are now on sale to the public. Port and the Crows go head-to-head in round 1 under lights at Alberton on Saturday, August 31. The home side will wear the club's heritage prison bar Guernsey. Adelaide has announced Sarah Allen and Ebony Marinoff as co-captains. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Unleash the night at the Crazy Horse Review, where every show is unforgettable. Hindley Street.
G'day there at Glenelg East. A crash will account for Brighton Road near Harris Street. Henley Beach Southburst, what am I there? It's on Seaview Road near Lexington Road. Got some detours in place. Look out for that. Sluggish as we speak at Largs Bay. Military Road near Kalgoorlie Road and busy South Road at Edwardstown. KFC are dropping daily deals on the app for Christmas all July. Today's a ripper. It's $15 for $10 Wicked Wings. Pick up only on July 30 while stocks lasts. Max one redemption. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 7 tonight, partly cloudy tomorrow 18, Thursday sunny and 18, Friday a shower or two 17. Right now it's 11 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you. On Brenton Bragless tonight, Molly O'Callaghan has delivered one of the greatest swims of the Olympic Games so far, winning the 200 metres freestyle. The triathlon postponed due to pollution in the River Seine. And troubled airline Rex is tonight in a trading halt. Don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 Now as soon as you're home.
Respiratory syncytial virus, known as RSV, is a contagious virus and the cause of respiratory disease among the elderly. Vaccines to fight the disease have been approved overseas, but Adelaide's Fusion Clinical Research is holding a trial to find a remedy for Australia. If you're over 60 and want to take part, contact Fusion on 7077 6996 or go to fusiontrials.com.au. You will be reimbursed for your time.
The Posture Care Chair Company has moved to a new home at 107 Sturt Street between King William Street and Whitmore Square. Discover our tailor-made chairs crafted right here in Adelaide with our patented zero-gravity design. And say goodbye to all comfort complaints. Celebrate our grand opening with us and save up to $1,000 on your brand new tailor-made recliner chair. Plus, complimentary express build, plus free delivery. Come on in and visit our new place. The Posture Care Chair Company. T's and C's apply.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 7 minutes after 6 on this Tuesday evening, which means the 5AA Fishing Show isn't too far away. That starts at 6:30. We're still taking your calls as well for that $100 Pizza Pan voucher, and you can see those pizzas in all their glory on the Foodland live stream as we speak. And you want to watch on because Nettie McHenry's arrived.
Thanks to Pizza Pan. Immerse your taste buds and taste difference at Pizza Pan. Seaview Downs, Blackwood, Hackham and Colonel Light Gardens. Mwah, delish. This is Pizza and Footy with Ned McHenry.
Well, if fishing was an Olympic sport, you'd be an Olympian.
Yeah, I would be. But it's not though, Rowey, is it?
No.
Because how would you do it? You wouldn't be able to go into enemy territory. I mean, go to Paris and compete with the local French fishermen, Timmy, if you've been fishing in Australia.
True.
So you'd have to find mutual ground.
Or eat any of the fish out of the River Seine.
No, you couldn't be eating them. They'd be like carp out of our torrents.
If there's any live ones.
Very similar, I think.
There's a few things floating down that look
they
a
got
bit
some
awkward.
issues there, you know. The triathlon was supposed to be in there, so it's been delayed, and I don't know they'll be able to get that
they
right.
can't. Are you watching?
I am, yeah. I like the Olympics. I've got some strong views on the Olympics. I'm not sure whether we're going to get into that or we're going to talk more footy.
Let's do it now. The IOC.
Yeah, mate, the Olympics, it bothers me. I mean, we haven't spoken about this, but Tim, you're looking at me.
I'm a bit
there.
stunned.
What
I
are
love
you?
the Olympics.
You're an Olympics fan.
I am.
I love the Olympics.
Well, what do you love about it? Tell me.
I love it's amateur. I love every 4 years.
Hang on,
It's
amateur? What do you mean amateur?
Well, most of the sports
So hang on,
amateur.
are you edging towards you don't like watching Nadal play Djokovic at the Olympics? Is that what you're edging towards?
Not what I'm edging towards, Timmy, but we can
okay.
get to that. What I'm edging towards is I sit there as an AFL footballer and think we as athletes are so much better represented and so much, you know, than these Olympians. Mate, who wins out of the Olympics, right? The IOC, who create massive amounts of revenue. They all pay themselves a shit ton of money. They get rebates back from developers in big cities who they bid for the actual
And they're
Olympics.
on the tape.
That's an official
brown paper
measurement.
bags.
Absolutely ridiculous, right? Who else wins? The nation. We all watch, don't we, Timmy? We
do.
we get up and about our
10
swimmers.
million
How good
last
are they?
night.
Yeah.
Of course,
Pride.
the broadcast deals. Now, I'll tell you who doesn't win. The athletes, who are paid absolutely nothing. I just don't, I'm astounded by it. And the actual revenue that's created in the Olympics, right? Let's compare it to footy. If I've got a couple of numbers in front of me, I mean, we've got 800 AFL footballers on the list, Timmy.
Bring your pad over
Come
to the
on.
microphone. There we go.
Let's get to work, Jimmy.
How long you been on
adjust your
radio?
headphones. You're going to end up with an ear like Taylor Walker if you leave it like that. That's all.
I put the headphones on one ear and then one out, so I kind of.
You've got a T
still
Walker.
learning. I've only been on this for 6 months.
Okay, give me your numbers.
Thanks, Timothy. Okay, 800 AFL players, right?
Yeah.
So $4.5 billion was what that broadcast was worth over 6 years in the AFL. So let's bring that back to a year. It averages out at about $750 million.
Yep.
Now, Nine paid $305 million. That's disclosed, right, for the broadcast deal for the Olympics. Now, there's 477 Australians going over and competing.
Yes.
So even if we worked out that what Nine paid for was what the broadcast was worth, which it obviously isn't, it's worth more, right? But there's half the amount of revenue, but half the amount of participants. So explain to me why, under a similar model we couldn't work on as the AFL, as a bit of a broadcast revenue share model, why these athletes can't be paid. I don't understand it.
Okay.
You win a gold, you get money, but it's about representing your country. I love that primal thing of you're representing the green and gold. You're under the Australian flag. There's no sponsorship on your
Once
top.
upon a time, it was
And
a
and it's
amateur
pure.
event.
It's
Pure.
pure sport.
Everyone else is getting sponsorship, mate.
Yeah.
Channel 9's getting a lot of it.
You're right. The commercial world has changed since the halcyon days that you're talking about, where you did just represent your country and you're proud to do that, and hopefully it was funded by either the government or some body. But you're right, the model has completely changed.
I don't think Jess Fox is singing for
the
us.
only thing I will say is a lot of the cities that have hosted the Olympics have made massive losses. So
Because of what they build that infrastructure and then...
correct. So the pressure now, and you might have noticed with the Com Games, nobody's touching it.
No one wants
everybody's got their hands off it because they know the infrastructure costs and everything to set it up is so large that they're going, no, we don't want a piece of it. So
can't afford it.
that's where the threat is. It's not so much the broadcast rights, it's the threat of that city making a massive loss.
Right, but there's still, and you use the word primal, right? It's primal to go out and support your country. AFL players, we get to support our city. You know, you support your colours, Timmy, but you're paid really well as an AFL footballer these days, whether you're playing or you're not. The average salary of an AFL footballer is amazing, right? Why can't it be, to some level, the same with the Olympics?
Because they can't afford it.
They can't afford it, mate. The revenue is massive.
What a lot of the...
It's just not prioritised as the athletes.
Swimming has a larger profile than some sports, like you would say skateboarding or a minor sport that perhaps badminton would produce. So they are ones that can get some sort of sponsorship out of a good performance.
And, yes.
Correct. That's where they get their opportunity to make some money. But it's certainly not across the board.
But you know what? What's wrong with playing for your country and your state?
But it's not
No,
playing, mate, because
money for it. I think where Ned's coming from is somebody's making a lot of money. And what he's saying is there should be an opportunity to share some of that with the athletes.
Of course, it's a hoax. And these athletes, they're training. This is a full-time job,
They don't have to
for
do
the
it.
Olympics every 4 years. You're saying, why can't they just rock up to the Olympics, perform, and then go back to their normal lives? Well, if you're competing against the best and the best in the world, it's a full-time job for years and years in preparation for it, and you're not paid for that service, Timmy. Are you with me or not with me?
I am. I think there could be definitely a model where they benefit.
Do you reckon
why don't all the athletes rebel?
You reckon the Chinese are getting paid, or the Ruskies, or the Ukrainians, or the Eastern Bloc countries, or
the issue
the
with that
Croats,
is there's been political moments where athletes have rebelled and countries have rebelled, but I think where it comes is, say there's a young boxer, right, and we've got the Adelaide boy, Callum Peters. He's going to have a fight tonight. He's trained for 4 years. He is absolutely champion at the bit. He wants to go. He wants to just represent his country. He wants to get this moment in the sun. If we were to say to him, listen, as a group, we're gonna strike. And he's going, I've
got all my ducks
I reckon
lined
to
up.
get all of those athletes to be as one would be very difficult, because you will get the haves and the have-nots as well, depending on the sport.
No, I get you, Timmy, and the strike was a throwaway comment. But, I mean, I just feel like we're sitting there as an AFL footballer, you sit there and you go, wow, we are really looked after.
You actually need the IOC to put that together.
Well, the IOC is essentially the AFLPA, really, in a way.
They're the AFL.
But they're actually what the athletes should be fighting against. So the body that should be working for them is actually the issue. That's not good.
No, it's deep. It's deep. But, hey, thanks for bringing it up.
But what about the pizza pan pizzas?
Wow.
Well,
Hello.
you can have deep pan or thin.
Hello, Mark and Elizabeth East. Here's Nettie.
Hello, boys. Good to hear from you. I agree with you, Nettie. Definitely those Olympians deserve every single thing they get, but that's not why I rang. A couple of other things. Last night, someone said that the crowd's 42,000 on Sunday.
Yeah, it was just under 42.
Yep, half of those were Crows.
Oh, more than half. I think there was a fair few Hawthorn fans there, but
you might say a lot of Hawthorn.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, especially after three-quarter time.
I didn't see too many leave. What's your point, Mark?
No, just saying, there was only 42,000 there, and half of us were Hawks supporters because we travel.
Okay.
Half of us. Are you, Mark? You've just unveiled your
Hello.
colours, my friend. You're a Hawthorn supporter, obviously, and you're rubbing in some of the crowd.
Sorry, I should have mentioned that earlier. Definitely.
Hey, Mark.
I went to Melbourne the week before against Collingwood, and it's just been a brilliant ride for sure. But also,
proud.
Yeah. Well, he turned around forward to. But also, last night, Rowey, you sort of mentioned that would spew up if North Melbourne finished above you on the premiership table next year.
Oh, God, I would spew up, Mark. I
Yeah,
would.
yeah.
Oh, God, I reckon that'd be it. You'd have to sack me.
Well, I believe you'll be about 50 kilos next year, Rowey, because you'll be still all year because everyone will finish above you.
Mark!
That's enough from Mark. Mark clearly doesn't know what a pizza pan pizza is. Because we got a $100 voucher. He's nowhere near it.
Yeah, you're not getting any
Not even on the podium,
He's
Mark.
obviously already pre-ordered them.
So he's rung as a Hawthorn fan to rub it in and then say we're going to finish bottom.
Well, he zinged you. It was 1-0. Mark won.
Oh, no, he zinged me. I've been getting zinged all night.
Okay, Johnny
whatever that word is.
Johnny at Paraka, you got a comment on the Boomers, John?
G'day, gents. I do. First, I just want to say, Ned, bad luck for the loss, mate. They're a quality outfit. Don't feel bad. Also, if I may, I'd like to thank the FIVEAA Football Club. They visited the home of the Mighty Bulls yesterday, ran a clinic for the kids, and they did a great job. So,
Excellent.
Thanks to those lads. And, look, with the Boomers, guys, I'm super excited. You know, we've got a lot of NBA talent. Now, the Crank Yankers, right, they're overpaid, they're old, they're arrogant. They're going to come undone, right? They beat Serbia by 20-something points, but if you actually look at the the three-point percentage, if Serbia had shot the same as the Yanks, they would have beaten them, right? Now, the Yanks will come undone in one of these knockout games, or we're a real chance for a gold here. So go the Boomers!
I hope you're right, mate. Any team with Steph Curry in it, good luck.
Yep.
He doesn't miss.
No, he doesn't. I like that rev up from Johnny Boy, though.
I like
we
it,
need to
yeah,
get
I-
him pre-game, maybe, or
Johnny,
quarter time, Johnny Boy.
He's very
All
good
right,
at that. Very
Jason, here's Nettie.
G'day, fellas. 96, Atlanta. I was playing footy in Melbourne, got picked in the twos. We decided to get dressed because Saturday morning Melbourne was Friday night Atlanta, Kieran Perkins, 1,500 metre. So we go in the rooms with the tellies. It was the greatest pre-game I've ever been involved with. We just watched him. He was written off, if you recall.
Yeah, from
he
lane
finished
eight.
like eighth slowest, so he was lane 8 near the television. Guys got strap rubbed down. Coach didn't give instructions. We just watched it in disbelief. And then when he won, finished first, and he jumped out and stood there with his arms up. We quickly got our boots on and ran out. We got belted, but I didn't give it. It was the greatest. And I'll never forget that. And when I catch up with those boys I play with, boys, we always talk about Kieran Perkins.
There's a pizza pan voucher right there.
Jason, well done, mate.
$100 pizza pan voucher
I
right
thought
there.
this story is building into one of the most
Yeah.
inspirational moments.
We were 10 goal down and we won with it. Nah.
Got
Yeah.
smashed.
Well done, Jason.
Got absolutely
Now,
smashed.
before we go to the break, you're not escaping, Nettie. 11 goal loss to Hawthorn.
Wait, hang on, Jason. Does he win the
Jason
pizza
deserves
man?
a voucher.
You know, we
for
just
that
gave it
game.
to Jason.
Congratulations.
We gave him 10 times.
We didn't announce it.
Oh, didn't we? No. 11 goal loss to Hawthorn. What? Too many outs? That's what I was put it down there.
Yeah, well, it's tough because I've been coming on air and speaking about the games and reviewing it, and I'm not playing, right, so I'm in the two. So it's a tricky one, but obviously I sat in at the club when we reviewed it, and there was a lot we went through. But, ultimately it was a performance that was really disappointing and wasn't at the level.
So what was the messaging? Because at quarter time, I'm playing Can You Feel It? I'm going, oh, my good. This is unreal. 6 more scoring shots.
Oh,
Taylor
my good.
Oh, yeah.
You've added an extra O there.
I meant to go in Italian, oh, my God. Oh, my God. I was, oh, my God. And then they opened us up. So what happened?
Yeah.
Just in a nutshell.
Yeah, a lot of things happened. You spoke about the first quarter. So as a footy club, we looked at the first quarter and how that felt and the way we were playing and, potential data and KPIs that were pointing towards the game being on our terms. And then obviously the next 3 quarters that followed, Timmy, were not the same. It was a different
shape.
brand of footy. Yeah, shape, don't you? But I think Tex made a good point. I mean, Hawthorn are in a really good form. They're a really good informed side of the competition. So the way they're playing at the moment probably doesn't reflect where they sit on the ladder. They should be higher on the ladder for their form at the moment. And
But that 0-5 start, and they've won 10 out of 12, I think.
Yeah.
So they would be what on the ladder if in the last?
So in the last 5 weeks, they've won themselves 4 games along with 5 other teams. So they're right up the pointy end.
Yeah. I think it's disappointing as well because our fans would be frustrated because I think they would have felt like the 4 weeks before that we were in good form. Like, do you agree?
I agree. Well, you beat GWS.
Yep.
Smashed St Kilda.
Yeah.
Had that terrific win with injury against Essendon and went toe-to-toe with Brisbane.
Yeah. No, completely agree. So the 4-week block the boys were in was really strong, and then obviously we let ourselves down a little bit as a footy club on the weekend. But I think let's not get caught up in the event and start looking too macro, Timmy. Let's not overanalyze it too much as a club. We're in a really good position. Our form was strong. Again, really disappointing when loss on the weekend. But obviously the club will look to bounce back and play really well next week.
Okay, let's do this before we go to the break. 20 minutes past 6, thanks to Peter Pan Pizza. Dawson, back. Yeah? Just quickly, Dawson.
Yeah. Well, he's available to play. Yeah, he looks really good.
My man, Nick Murray.
Your man? Why is he your man?
Oh, everyone's my man. You're my man.
He's my man. He lives with me.
Yeah, I've got about 10 of yous.
I raised him. He's under my wing. I raised that kid.
Like Chops.
He's older than you and you've raised him. He's older than you, isn't
He came over as a scrawny farmer working as a farmhand who couldn't piece a sentence together, and now look at him. He's an absolute weapon.
Yeah, okay.
That's my doing. I'm his father. No.
So I saw him in tears on that bench, and I reckon we were nearly in tears, James and I, to see him so upset. To be able to play next week, missing one, brilliant. So Nick Murray's back.
Well, hang on, available to play, I believe. So just cool your jets a little bit, but I think he's available to play.
When's Rankin back? One more week?
He's got one more week for his suspension. Training really well, looks really fit. So obviously we miss him as a football at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely miss it because it could be 3 or 4 or 5 changes.
Potential.
Maybe. Okay. I know you're not in this. Right,
I've got no idea, but you'd think obviously Dawes as a captain will come back. Potentially a few more defenders available. So who knows? That's
Timmy, you're interested in that conversation.
People paid more than me, Timmy.
I just want to find out.
Oh, here we go.
Are the Whiting asleep at the moment, or are they biting?
Timmy, we're going to get to.
We'll do that after the break.
The greatest moments need the best pizzas. We're having some good moments here. Discover Pizza Pan at Seaview Downs, Blackwood, Hackham and Colonel Light Gardens. More Netty after the break.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
Catch all the action from the Olympic Games in Paris as 5AA brings you Nines coverage live each evening from 11:30. Don't miss a minute of the action as our Aussie stars set their sights on gold medal glory. Tune in tonight following Leith Forest as we cross to France for Nines coverage. Paris 2024, live from 11:30 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Hi, Brett Ebert here from Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda. They'll take care of you with next day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash. And your breakfast or lunch is on them. Your car gets a love too with their state-of-the-art service centre, brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, they'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
The Advertiser has the Paris Games covered. Don't miss a moment with every breaking story, real-time medal tallies, daily podcasts and all the gossip from the streets of Paris. Download the Advertiser app today. It's your games, your way.
Spend more time enjoying life. With an ECH home care package, you receive the support you need to stay at home and get more out of life. ECH home care services are provided by a team of caring professionals. So if you or someone you care about has some health challenges, find out more about ECH's range of services that can enable you to remain living confidently and independently. Call 1300 275 324 or visit our website at ech.asn.au.
Tired of waking up tired? IKEA can help. Start building a more sleep-friendly space with IKEA, the one-stop shop for snoozing. So wake up. It's time to sleep. Make it happen at ikea.com.au.
Respiratory syncytial virus, known as RSV, is a contagious virus and the cause of respiratory disease among the elderly. Vaccines to fight the disease have been approved overseas, but Adelaide's Fusion Clinical Research is holding a trial to find a remedy for Australia. If you're over 60 and want to take part, contact Fusion on 7077 6996 or go to fusiontrials.com.au. You will be reimbursed for your time.
Every South Australian deserves a place to call home. That's why the state government has developed the Housing Roadmap, providing more rights for renters, helping more first home buyers by abolishing stamp duty on new homes and building more public and affordable houses. We're making big moves now to open more doors for this generation and the next. To learn more, visit housingroadmap.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia.
How's Frank going on the share market?
Well, up and down. I've just made an investment of my own, though, and it's paying dividends already.
Oh, what is it?
These new shoes from Gilmore's, they're so comfy and supportive.
They look good too.
Frank invested in some, and now we go for a walk before the market opens. He reckons they're his best investment yet.
Gilmore's, hey? I think I need to add to my portfolio.
Gilmore's Comfort Shoes, South Road, Melrose Park.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 26 minutes after 6. Ned McHenry is here before the 5AA fishing show, which is moments away.
Just had my boat serviced at Coast Road Motors. I love it when you've had a service. It just purrs.
Yep.
Your old North Bank, how's it all going?
Old? It's not old. It's new compared to your old dusty thing.
Hey,
Two-stroke on the back, son.
talk ill of a Nereus.
The Nereus isn't the issue.
Let's not get boat envy here.
Yeah.
Let's just
calm
keep,
down.
let's keep it on the fishing for TJ.
Hey, I've got a Nereus with a
you
Kona
do.
on the front. He hasn't.
Yeah, you've got an old donk. You've got an old two-stroke, what is it,
150
1994.
Yamaha.
Built before I was...
Yamaha saltwater.
Yeah, that's a V8 brand new, mate.
Will never stop.
Oh, you're a moron.
Now,
go. What do you want, Timmy?
Well, we were just talking off air. And I just want to interrupt this argument for a special message for Pizza Pan Tuesdays.
That was funny.
We were just talking about what do you take for snacks on the boat? Because
here we are.
I would imagine, like, if you're doing a longer trip, if you're going down to get those big barrel things you talk about.
Tuna.
And those big sashimi ones you were talking about.
Yes.
Samson's?
Yes. You can't just
Those
throw out
barrel
species as if you know what you're doing.
How's Timmy's vocab?
I'm getting there. But I was wondering, the longer trip, obviously you'd have to take more stocks or whatever, but if you're just going out, say, off Brighton...
Little day trip.
Yeah, a little day trip, going to catch some whiting like you did the other day.
Yep.
What do you take? What do you need?
Well, Timmy, you know how he always talks about this Minn Kota that he's got on the front of the boat, and he always bullies me because he's got this jazzy little device up the front?
Yeah.
Well, I've got something, Timmy, in my cab, and it's a 12-volt little pizza oven.
Oh,
so
no
you
way.
set it on. So I get some Pizza Pan pizza that's left over.
Really?
A couple of those little bad boys in the shelf. Turn it on.
Oh, yeah.
About 30 minutes. Oh,
Crisp 'em
Timmy,
up.
The Pizza Pan pizza's almost better than when it first comes in.
That's a great idea.
Absolutely
I'll
scrumptious.
take your 12-volt little cheap thing and put a Weber Q straight in the front.
Oh, you've got the Weber Q,
I've got the Weber Q.
So what do you take out then?
Oh, well, I normally make breakfast in the morning, so I get the English muffins with bacon and eggs.
Just before you take off?
No. As
On
soon
the
as
boat.
the boat hits the water,
Water.
a bottle of champagne's open.
Yep.
That's given. As soon as the boat hits the water, then I park the car, retrieve.
We're talking a
pop, and out.
piccolo.
Oh, my goodness, man.
You're not allowed to have a beer. You're not allowed to have a beer
No.
until your first size, whatever you're after, whiting,
Okay.
Yep, target
tuna,
species.
Garfish?
whatever your target species, whatever it is.
counts?
you've got to have-
That
you've got to
counts?
have- So up until that point, you can only drink Aperol.
Ooh, all right, okay.
Now, by the time you get your first size one, you're anyone's.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's when the fun begins.
Oh, beautiful.
And then it's just all on.
And what do you eat with that? What's
Because
snacks?
Jody will say, when do you have your first beer? Oh, not until we get our first quota, love.
Yeah.
But what did you have before that? That's the question she should be
Yeah.
asking. Nettie's rung me. You've rung me, and I've been 8 in the morning, 7 8.
I've attempted to. He's almost,
So can I ask you what you would take?
That's how
out?
you fish, mate.
Well, Timmy, fishing is one of those things, and I know he over here is talking about alcohol, but when you try and go out, you want to eat healthily, Timmy, because you're an AFL footballer and you need to
Correct.
prepare properly. So a couple of nice wraps with a little bit of protein in there, Timmy, some lettuce, some avocado, that's usually a good go. But I tell you what my little treat is, Timmy.
Ooh, what is it?
Oh, a couple of crackers, Timmy. A couple of sakatars, barbecue or barbecue chicken, or a couple of
Sakata.
shapes. When the fish aren't biting and you've got a couple of nibblies to have a crack on, oh, Timmy.
That's
passes the time beautifully.
is that a healthy cracker?
Absolutely not. No, the dietitian would be
Oh,
flat with that. Oh, a cracker or a barbecue shape, I think they're probably not happy with.
But a
nice
wrap's
wrap.
better than bread?
Yeah, nice wrap with some protein in there, Timmy.
You'll like this one before we go to the break, TJ, because it's his fishing show.
Yes.
Depending who I take out, I'll say to them, well, you can do lunch. You bring it and I'll cook it.
Oh, okay.
Christian Canute
I know him well.
from Rusden Wines, chief winemaker of Rusden Wines, he brings quail.
Wow. Wow.
We have quail when he comes on the boat.
That's a bit novel.
Christian, if you're listening, ring now. We have quail.
Wow.
In the Weber Q. Oh, God.
Timmy, this is almost, sorry,
Wow.
Sammy, this is almost a
Sounds
question
good.
for our audience. What do people take out fishing?
822 300 after the break. Yeah.
TJM.
What's your go-to snack, Timmy? It's a good question.
I'll be listening.
All right, we'll do
Pizza
that straight
pan
after
pizza?
this.
Yes.
See you,
Ned
Eddie.
McHenry's fishing show, and it's all thanks, just quickly, Timmy, for Pizza Pan this last
Well, it
half
is.
hour. We
It's,
appreciate their help.
It's the greatest moments that need the best pizzas,
yes,
like
Timmy.
catching that big tuna barrel.
Yum, yum, yum.
Discover Pizza Pan at Seaview Downs, Blackwood, Hackham, and Colonel Light Gardens. They brought in the garlic prawn tonight, which was exceptional. But they also brought in one piri piri.
Peri Peri.
That
Pizza.
was unreal.
Yeah.
And the dessert one as well, which had a bit of Nutella. And
That's for later,
cherry
Timmy,
ripe.
that one.
well done again, boys.
Excellent work. Fishing next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Tyson Stengel, the Geelong star, according to reports in Victoria, was treated by paramedics and rushed to hospital in an ambulance.